What's up, and welcome back to the Fast Life Podcast. Yes, today's my birthday. I'm stoked. Before we get into it, though, let's hear it from our sponsors real quick, and then we'll get right into this episode. My guys over at Simpson motorcycle helmets have been dropping new colorways and designs like clockwork. From the limited edition Pony Boy and to my personal favorite, the Crypsis, which is a woodland camo Ghost Bandit, along with the matte Stealth Gray Mod Bandit, and of course the Speed Bandit, which is an affordable option that doesn't sacrifice the style or quality Simpson is known to deliver. Head on over to simpsonmotorcyclehelmets.com to check out the models, finishes, and visor options, and also give my guys a follow on Instagram at Simpson Motorcycle Helmets. Lexan is my go-to for not only my Bluetooth system, the FT4 Pro on my helmets, but now my wireless charging solution on the road as well, with their WPC QI wireless charger. This is a water-resistant wireless charger for the Ram Mount X Grip phone holder. This easy-to-set-up system uses a battery tender-style plug for easy install and will only set you back $64.95 with a 2-year unlimited warranty. You can also grab yourself a Lexan WPC and Ram X mount kit from Lexan-Moto for $110. And checkout, drop that Fast Life offer code to save yourself 15%. And don't forget to give Lexan and the team a follow on Instagram at Lexan-Moto. I recently switched all my lighting on my Road Glide to Electric Lighting Co. I'm a huge fan of the looks and the improved visibility I get from the shark tooth headlight, and I'm digging the 5-year warranty on the 15 different LED headlight options for your motorcycle. Their deluxe and premium LED turn signals offer 530 lumens of bright white running light, which are the brightest in the industry, and backed by a lifetime warranty. And last but not least, the LED tail lamps come in a wide range of designs to add that finishing touch, and all products are plug and play. NAM's custom cycle products since 1999 have been offering American-made wiring products for all things V-twin, and Badlands for over 30 years have been offering the most reliable and dependable lighting modules in the USA, backed by a lifetime warranty. Find out more about these great companies at namscustomcycleproducts.com. Thundermax and their ECM computers are designed to provide your EFI-equipped Harley-Davidson with the most advanced auto-tuning available. A Thundermax ECM eliminates tuning hassles when upgrading your exhaust or air cleaner, or when adding a cam or big bore kit, by simply allowing you, the user, the ability to simply download a base map and let the computer do the rest. Also, a hot item is their iRide rear suspension, which is a performance air ride rear suspension, giving you the ability to adjust many aspects from the handlebar mounted touchscreen. This rear suspension is the best of both worlds. Check out these products at shoptmax.com and use offer code FASTLIFE at checkout to save yourself 10% off. And follow Thundermax EFI on Instagram. John Jessup's Team Dream Rides out of Stockton, California is a one-stop shop for you to have your motorcycle customized, maintained, repaired, and upgraded with in-house dyno tuning and parts and accessories. Also, check out teamdreamrides.com online store to see the full array of products for your bike and you as a rider. And if you're short on cash, you can take advantage on the 100 days same as cash financing on teamdreamrides.com. All you need is a job and a bank account, and while you're at it, give the team a follow at DreamRidesJohn on Instagram. Paint Huffer Metal Flake has been with our podcast since day one, and I have been using their flakes and pearls in my paint work for over 4 years now. And you can get started down this custom paint path with many must-have items for the custom paint process at painthuffer.com. And you can save yourself some coin by using the FASTLIFE20 offer code at checkout. And last but not least, you can get some inspiration by checking out all the amazing work created with the Paint Huffer products at Paint Huffer Metal Flake on Instagram. Welcome back, everyone. Like I said, today is my birthday, and I'm stoked I get to be a tight little bitch all day. So here we go. Today's podcast is with DA Performance Baggers, and a painter buddy of mine that I wanted to give his own podcast, but the way it worked out in Chicago, we just kind of had to put these two together. Jason from NSD Paintworks. This dude's been a big help of mine over the years with sharing tips and tricks and things like that, and he's a really badass painter, as well as Chuck and Pete, who of DA baggers, you guys know I've been critical of the Big Wheel Bagger world forever, right? But it's not because I hate it. It's because I was a part of it, and I saw the fuckery taking place. And these guys have always built badass, innovative bikes. They've pushed the envelope, and now they're starting to push into the performance bagger spectrum, which I'm stoked about. And like I said, these dudes are just rad. I want to thank Chuck for taking me around Chicago, showing me some of the sights, showed me that South Side wasn't too bad. It was the West Side Chicago you want to stay out of. So anyway, here we are. This is the podcast. Let's do it. DA Performance and Jason from NSD Paintworks. Here we go.
Hey guys, you ready to let the dogs out?
Fast Life Podcast.
Be quiet as fuck now. Watch.
Hello.
Speak crickets.
All right, cool. Well, welcome, guys. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for letting me come here.
No problem.
So fucking sketchy out here, you know what I mean? In South Side of Chicago. Nice cars rolling around like Teslas everywhere over here.
Oh, yeah.
There's a car doing a drive-by in the parking lot right there.
That's a clean ST Type. Is that one yours?
That's mine.
Sure, dude. That thing's clean as fuck.
I drive my 3-year-old in it at
Do
7 o'clock in the
drive-bys?
morning on Sundays.
That's dope. Y'all live too far from here or what?
5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Yeah, right down the block.
Where are you at? You in Indiana or?
I live in Illinois, and my shop's in Indiana.
Okay.
But I'm.
How does
15
that
minutes from
work?
here.
Like paper reasons, like taxes and all that shit. It's like you're making money in another state, but you live in another, like.
I just give my stuff to the accountant and let them deal with it.
Yeah.
I don't really pay attention.
It's much
to
cheaper
tax
to do
stuff.
business in Indiana
Way.
as far as like overhead and whatnot.
Yeah.
We pay like the most ridiculous shit in taxes
This is
here.
great.
Like, you,
Cook County is insane.
That's crazy. Y'all have state tax here?
Yeah, tax on everything.
Damn.
We're probably taxing
Everything.
us right now for talking on this microphone.
yeah.
Gotta move to Texas, man. We don't have any of that shit.
$15 a pack of cigarettes.
You should quit.
I don't want to hear this guy bitch about it.
Yeah. You quit on your own terms?
That's $45 a day.
Yeah, here we go.
No, I mean, like I said, I was telling you guys, I was happy to have you on because, like I said, I've always been a fan of the bikes that you guys build. And I think the one that was really like, okay, y'all are fucking doing it is that the one with the hole in the tank.
Oh, the clear
The
wheel
see-through.
bike. Yeah.
And, one of my, favorite painters is Poland, and that whole thing was just dialed. The
Yeah.
whole thing was a good-looking, not overdone bike. It was the first time I saw Poland do a bike.
He's
that
only
I
painted
felt-
a couple bikes. I think.
Yeah, I felt like that was him finally coming into his own kind of style with bikes. Because his personal bike, in my opinion, just didn't really fit
No,
his style.
This one's like his helmets and like
Yeah.
the IndyCar. Like,
Yeah. No, I dig it. And then that was Daytona 2018, I think, because I saw that bike there and the Softail y'all built.
that was
Kyle
like
and
the
them painted.
last Daytona before all the shows
Yeah.
went to shit.
Yeah. Good times. So you guys, with like DA Performance, you pretty much started with some kind of racing background. I mean, I know you guys have raced cars and shit like that too.
That's more recent because I'm trying to relive when I was a kid and I couldn't afford race cars. But we've always been in like dirt bikes and shit like
Street
that.
bikes.
But basically, yeah, I mean, we used to be big in crotch rockets and go out every night on them. But basically, it started. We both worked at a car dealership together, me and Chuck, and we all had crotch rockets. And then he bought a 08 Street Glide. It was the first year for 08 where the throttle by wire, you couldn't even get grips for it.
Damn.
You had to buy everything from Harley. And we did a 23 on it. And he paid someone he knew to do it. And actually, that 23 was like having a 32 then. We got it. We get it from Renegade,
Yep.
and they said it wasn't safe to drive. Like
Perfect.
And we put race tech suspension in it with stock trees, and it rode like a dream. And it was like killing it everywhere. And he paid someone to do it, and he fucking ass raped us. And from now, it would take me like a day to do that, build that whole bike. Mm-hmm. Had for like months, and then we kind of started doing the shit our own out of a garage, and it's like it blew up. We had bikes in 3 different garages, working out of one garage, moving stuff around, and then it kind of, it's like at the perfect time. It's when, you know, you had if you wanted to stretch your fender, you had to buy one from Shope or Yaffe. Yeah, and that was it. And then you were getting
extensions that you glue on the bikes.
Clockworks extensions.
Yes,
the Nest ones.
Right, yeah.
It just kind of blew up from there. People asking us to do their bikes and whatnot, you know. Mm-hmm. And now we're here. This shop full of shit everywhere.
Yeah, it's trying to get this audio right still.
It's all good.
But yeah, no, it's like I said, that whole era, man. Like, I talk a lot of shit about big wheel baggers, right?
We know that,
but it's only because it comes from a good place.
Yeah,
and it comes from the fact that I did ride them, I did paint them, I did work on them. And I do appreciate one done right. I just feel like it got to a point in the industry where
just like everything,
it got clownish.
Yep.
You know,
very, very.
And then now, you know, like the stereo thing, we used to do that too. You know, we did the Focals, and then the Hertz came along. But then, you know, and I love him to death. Joey Hensley's a friend of mine. But then it turned into this like box competition. Like if you had like a SUV and you took the whole. Now that's on bikes. I'm like, all right, this isn't motorcycle.
Well, here's where it was. Okay, you could build a badass, but you know, 7 years ago, you build a crazy one-off badass bagger. You go to Daytona with it. There wasn't the same looking bike everywhere, and there's a lot of big names, and everyone was cool. And you had a big stereo in it, which wasn't really now a big stereo.
Yeah.
But you still had bag space, and it functioned, and it was loud, and you could ride it everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, now you put 200 pounds in a bag, and it's gonna ride like shit.
Yep.
And that's a fact. I don't care what you say or who it is. Tires are rated for a certain load rating. That's why the bags on a stock bike say don't exceed 50 pounds.
Yeah.
The tire's gonna walk, and that's it. And now all these bikes are just, I mean, they're just. There isn't even bike shows no more to get awarded for building a badass bike.
Yeah.
It's about a stereo. And I like
noticed it.
stereo and shit, but back then you could have a badass stereo, a badass bike, and it's focused around everything.
Yeah.
The stereo was a plus.
Yeah.
Now it's just stereo. Bikes don't look like bikes. Like
You can't ride them.
They're worse than a chopper.
Yeah. Well, being able to keep it dialed back and keep it still rideable is what I was talking about earlier about is the shops that did that and didn't chase the spaceships and the more flamboyant shit.
Yeah.
That are the ones that I feel like they stuck to the nature of, hey, this is about motorcycles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're about riding them.
Yeah.
Not
I mean,
sitting in a
we can
parking
build
lot.
a 30-inch Road King with no audio on the bags, and you can go 100 miles an hour and set the cruise control. And the bike, you can't hit the turn as hard as you can on a performance bagger, but you can ride the shit out of it. You can go anywhere.
That's the thing I've always said. You know, like I said, I'm super hypocritical, 100%.
Yeah.
It's like last night we just had a shit show talking shit about them, but I will say that, you know, I really did enjoy riding my big wheel across country. It was fun, and don't get me wrong. Like
you stop places and people talk, and people
dude,
never seen anything like
you're
it.
never not welcome somewhere on that. You know what I mean? Which is dope, and then it felt cool riding big wheel down PCH and all these cool spots and stuff. But what really, and I've said this a million times, the only thing that pushed me out of it was the people. The people.
Yeah, it completely changed.
Yeah.
5 years ago, you go to Sturgis, Daytona, it is a whole different world than what it is right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember getting to Daytona, and we thought we had the baddest bike in the world, and we pull up there early, and there's a yellow bike from Kenny Williams that just maybe my dick go inside, and I wanted to just go home. But that was cool. That was cool, man. Because he'd give you a compliment. You got a compliment from Kenny Williams, and we were on cloud 9, you know, or Mr. Covington or something, you know. And it's just, and there's so many cool people like to meet that you've always dreamed about meeting.
Exactly.
And it's not like that no more.
Well, when your idols become your peers,
Yeah.
and then your friends, and you look forward every year to go to Daytona and see, all winter long, everyone's sitting in their shops with some crazy idea, and everyone did it. Every year you show up, and whoever was there had something new and badass. You're like, wow, it's incredible. No matter what it is now, it's just like,
and there wasn't a bunch of shit talking everywhere
Yeah.
and shit like that.
Well, I think the shit talking came from like the forums, man, the Facebook shit, and then everybody became Facebook experts on building bikes and what's the best
comes from
parts.
a lot of people that haven't been doing it long.
Yeah.
And
Or don't respect the people that have
someone
been
all of
doing
a
it
sudden's
long.
a bike builder and talking shit about everyone, and they never even earned it.
Yeah, you got to earn to be able to talk shit about people.
You gotta earn.
Absolutely.
Yeah, honestly, I agree in being quiet about that shit on Facebook and shit like that, and just keep making money. If you gotta talk shit about every, I mean, we get bikes from other shops or this and that are completely fucked, or there's no reason to tell anyone about it or point.
Well, it's also the fact that you never know the whole story with those things, and that's what
and
sucks.
You don't know a guy. You don't know a guy that wants a $60,000 bike for $20,000 that someone will build. We won't do it.
Yeah,
you're gonna get $20,000 worth of work, and there's some things you're gonna have to leave out. But everyone else wants to do everything. Well, now you got this shit box that looks cool on the outside, and it breaks all the time, and it's it. And then everyone says, "Well, you can't ride that bike because it's broke all the time." Mm-hmm. But go ride a 30-inch bike that Covington bought. Yeah. And that bike's riding around Bike Week and riding everywhere all day long.
For years.
That's why that bike's $70,000 and not $20,000.
Yeah.
You know, and people now they're just flooded all over the place, and a lot of people don't know the difference between a well-built bike and a non-well-built bike.
Well, the other thing that really takes place with that is that you get certain customers that come in here that do have the money to pay you the $70,000, and they don't know the difference between that mouth hustler over there saying $20,000 and you're saying 70, and the dudes that do them for $70,000 are a little bit more like, I don't know, like I don't feel like, I know I don't have like a huge customer service option in my business. Like, hey man, we charge this, you know, if you're interested, we'll do it. But I'm working, man. I don't have time to, you know, I don't have time to sell you right now. If you want to fuck with us, come on. Yeah. You know, but which is probably not the best way to be customer service wise.
You got to pump some people's tires sometimes.
We got a customer, John Blake. It's one of our best. I mean, he's been with us for 7 years. We built him. Every bike we build him, it's not about the money. It's about having the baddest stuff. You have an open check. Well, you know, right when the 143s came out, we built an Orange Road King with a 143, and that's what excites him is horsepower, turbo, you know, and everything. But crazy, you get to build every bolt to 12. I mean, it's everything is absolutely perfect, and then you take your time on it. They're just perfect bikes, and it's not a $70,000 bike that's overpriced and you got rich off of, because we made about the same money we made on a $30,000 build, but it's just all badass shit. You know, and he always comes back because you treat him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he had a good experience. He didn't feel like he got dicked around. He felt like he was excited the entire process. And there's people that chase that excitement of having something built. You know?
Oh yeah, first that's he always has to have a bike being built. You know, we built him that epic bike with the 143 with the fat. You know, he'll do all different kinds of stuff. You know, he just likes.
Does he keep them or does he sell them?
He's only sold 2 of them.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Keeps them all.
He'll drive one for an hour, 2 hours, go out south, beat the shit. I don't care if it's got a 30-inch wheel. We won't build him a lay frame bike. Yeah. Because these bikes have to function. They have to. So it's gonna have stock hand controls with switches. You know, but we'll build him a 30-inch bike with a polished motor, big, and he beats the shit out of him and rides it.
Yeah. Hey Jason, how you doing?
Just great. Listen to Pete.
You want to do some shots? Some other stuff? I don't know.
So,
just listening to Pete.
It's all good.
Someone's got to talk.
No, but like I said, listeners out there, we have Jason from NSD Paintworks on here as well, and man, we've known each other quite a while. I think at least 5 years, 4 years, 5 years, something like that. But you kind of started too in a weird way, like because you were kind of working out of another shop and then kind of evolved into your own full operation, right?
I did it before and then worked out of a shop, and I started, basically how I started is I got married when I was right out of high school. 12. And didn't really enjoy being in the house with my wife, so I just spent all the time in the garage learning how to paint and just messing up stuff in the garage. So I kind of started doing that, and
I know the feeling. That's how it was, man. Like when I was in my 20s, I was super responsible and doing good, and then once I started making a little bit of money, I started drinking, and then the partying started happening, and now I'm like, I'm pretty confident in myself as a painter, but if I had the same like get it done and I had in my 20s and the time I wanted to be in the shop for 13 hours a day, and my buddies aren't texting me at 5 like, hey, we're hitting the bar tonight. And I'm like, fuck yeah, you know, like I feel like I'd be a little bit further along in life right now.
Yeah, that's how it goes with everyone. At least you had your fun though.
Yeah, well, I'm having it now. I'm currently having fun. In my 20s was all like business, like trying to get here, and like I said, I'm just now feeling like I'm done buying all the stupid shit that I've always wanted. Not that I have anything nice, but just like, you know,
going. Got a nice bike.
I got a nice bike, and I run some high tabs at the gas station. You know, things like that. Like I feel like I need to do more responsible shit with my money now, but yeah, that's, I don't know. Like I've been a cash car guy my whole life. You know, if I can't pay for cash, then I'm not trying to have a payment on a fucking $50,000 truck. I'd love to have one, but I just can't swing it. You know.
I like signatures. I mean, if I had the cash, I'd pay cash.
Signatures it's a good way to make it happen.
My race car. That's Chuck wants to sell all the time.
Yes.
What is it?
That's a good investment. 2,000 horse plus alcohol Mustang.
That's the love of his life.
What gets me away from the bike? I mean, you work on bikes every single day. Mm-hmm. Even if you want to go riding, you're the guy that works on bikes.
Yeah.
So if someone breaks or anything happens, and you're feeling good, buzzed, now you gotta go work on something. Or, you know, it's just nice to get out of. So I like the racing because I get away from all that and go do that, you know, and it's something new and exciting.
Well, I get that's the thing that, man, you wouldn't believe how many big name dudes in our industry that I've sat down with that behind the mics would tell me that so many people lose their like passion for actually riding them because
it's easy, man.
I mean, trust me, man. I know you know.
Man.
Yeah, you deal with customers
that'll
run you down, and to where you look at a bike and it just immediately gives you anxiety because you know all the things that are at the shop and the deadlines and the.
Have a cell phone.
Absolutely.
Have your cell phone the shop phone number for the last 12 years.
Yeah.
Really, people call you on a Sunday like.
Every time I hear a bike, my stomach hurts.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I mean,
hope they're not coming here.
I mean, just recently, probably within the last 6-8 months, we pretty much closed on Saturdays and Sunday. I mean, we're just like everyone else. I mean, everyone else is off work on Saturday or Sunday or something, has a life. Now we got, 2-year-olds.
Well, a lot of people with bikes don't look at people that work on bikes like, they look at it like, oh, you got this awesome job. Like, you should be thrilled that I'm calling you on a Sunday to talk to you about doing my bike, or, my bike doesn't start because he left the key on all night and now it's your fault because, whatever. You know?
I mean, if you buy a brand new bike from Harley, you're not calling Harley on Sunday.
Yeah.
And they don't have to go grab their trailer while they're out doing something and go pick up your bike. You wait.
Why not?
Monday.
You got nothing else to do, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, man.
It burns you out. I mean, we just kind of like now. We used to work 6-7 days a week forever and kill yourself and be here at 7-8 o'clock at night, and it's just kind of.
It runs you dry.
You got to stop, otherwise you're gonna stop doing it.
Yeah.
Now I think we feel a lot better. I get here at 7 in the morning every day and leave at 4:30. But from 7 to 10, I get more work done than I get coming here at 10 o'clock to 5. If you guys want to talk, I'll shut up. But it's gonna be real boring.
I'm just enjoying your voice.
You like my lisp? I can go on all day long.
Nah. So what do you do here?
I hang out.
Sure, give him one of your cards.
Yeah, I'm the janitor technically.
Hell yeah.
On paper. I just keep everything together, keep everything running pretty much.
That's a good partnership though, man. Like
it
having someone
good,
to really handle things so that you can stay focused in like the wrenching and things, dude. It's a big one. I know for us painters, that's one thing that we always struggle with, the business side of things as well as the.
I mean, it's only us, me and him. So
yeah.
I'm the shop bitch. I clean toilets, pick up parts, deliver shit.
Money.
Money. I'm good with money.
Yeah.
He's not good with money. I'm good with money.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
You need someone's got to be good with money. Man.
That's one thing we have here is we don't need other people's money to keep this place going. So it's a lot of shops use people's money for other things sometimes.
Yeah, you're robbing Peter Pan Paul.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
and we don't have that here.
You come here for a build, and usually, I want
your money
parts
goes to
paid
your
for.
shit.
As much money you drop off, that's what parts show up. That dictates how fast your build is. But you come drop off, say you got a whatever. Say you got a $10,000 job, and you got $8,000 in parts. You drop off $8,000. The parts are sitting on the shelf like the next day. We order everything then. There's no bullshit. You can come in. All your stuff's sitting there. We don't play game.
Jason can attest the way I do business. Me personally, my word's more important than anything. Yeah, I always pay. It's no bullshit. Yeah, ever. Yeah, even if you fuck me, I'll pay your money, and then we'll just figure it out later. But I just don't fuck around.
That's a good thing, man. There's a lot of. I know Jason probably can say this too, man. Like, I've been dicked around by bike shops a lot in my career, but. Mainly sometimes it's when just getting taken advantage of and things like that on a kind of a unfair deal, But the thing about like all these, as these trends kind of change and these kind of shits go from this to this to this to this, it weeds out all the fucking people that aren't really into it for the right reasons, right?
Absolutely.
So, fuck, if we go back 3 years, think about how many bagger shops there were across the country. Oh, everybody.
Huge ones.
Like big ones, dude.
Total
a huge one just got fucking. I don't know what's going on with BX down there.
Oh man, I was going to say something, but he was going to get mad. Yeah. I was just going to say, good thing you didn't paint anything for him.
I'm a good friend with Steve.
I try not to say stuff with some of the things, Yeah, it's Steve. I like Steve. His business practices sound really poor. Obviously, I wasn't there.
I don't know, man. That's what's weird. It's like, but I also know like he was putting a lot of like he had Fox paint. And then Hampton, like he was putting these dudes on.
He was doing some of them.
And Lemon, paint by Lemon out of fucking Nashville. And it's like.
I talked to Josh before I started doing stuff.
To the mic.
He's a professional.
I'm not used to it, since
stick your mouth on it like you're normal. Here, I'll hold it in front of me so you can stick your mouth on it.
Open your mouth.
So what happened?
But I talked to Josh a little bit before I started with him, and he kind of warned me a little bit. And
so was he just not paying his bills with people or what?
I got lucky as, you can't, I wasn't shipping nothing back to him until he paid me. So the last one took 3 or 4 months. Chuck was trying to buy it from me. It was sat at the shop for forever. And he's
still buying $12,000 shoes. You can see it on Facebook.
It's a weird one, man, because like I said, it's there is that thing where everybody's trying to like show this hustle idea, like who they are to the world, right? And it's like, man, like this is a bike industry, bro.
Yeah, that gets you nowhere, dude.
It's like, so there's certain people that I know in the industry that have like Lamborghinis and shit, and everybody would swear that he's a drug dealer, but I know the dude, and he's just a fucking hustler. He's a guy that can take a fucking Caprice Classic and then 3 months later flip it into a fucking Maserati or some shit. You know what I mean? He's just that dude that knows people and knows
guys that make money. Sometimes that's just what they do.
My partner.
No, not me.
He's just not lazy. There's guys that'll sit there and cry to be broke, and there's guys that are broke that will never stop doing stuff to make a difference if they want the money. And that's
well, just seeing how big some people get, and then like I said, I've known Steve for quite a while. And I haven't talked to him, so I'm not really trying to talk shit because I don't know what happened. But just seems like fuck, man. Like that's, I think Fox posted some kind of picture up saying like all these felony accounts of like fraud or some shit. Like I was like, god damn. But meanwhile, this dude's got some banging ass chick he's out fucking going to the Caribbean with, and I'm like, hey, dude, live your best life, brother.
He's got Jordan 1 yours.
I never understand when you go out and you go. Whatever happened, but you end up screwing over a bunch of people when that happened. True. But then you post that you got all this money and buying this stuff. Like, where does that? Because that's just gonna piss off a lot of people, man. Like,
it's almost like the government.
I don't
is
get it
right now. It's
or
like,
anyone. I mean, what about the guy that when you closed down didn't get all of his stuff?
Yeah.
Well, now you're posting you're rich.
That's weird. There's a lot of people like that in the industry, man. Though, like, and I mean, it's really hard not to talk shit, right?
No, yeah.
I'm not. I'm just.
This is why I don't have Facebook.
No, but this is on Facebook.
Yeah, I know.
So it's not like I'm airing out anything because I really don't know. There's always 2 sides to every story.
Yeah.
No, there's always 3.
3.
Yeah,
but
3.
Unfortunately, if you're gonna do that stuff, you shouldn't be on Facebook.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think, like I said, with him kind of going under, or whatever took place. And then, Camtech went out a couple years ago too. That was a company I used to really enjoy seeing those bikes.
They were one of the starters, man, doing crazy stuff.
He went out of business?
Huh?
Camtech?
Yeah. They sold it off. And
he sold that
I haven't heard anything from them for a while.
I guess I haven't really either for a couple.
Because Cameron had it.
So Cameron got out.
He went through like a divorce or something and got shitty.
Then Shane and his wife, Bolton or whatever.
Yeah, and so in that, and then I guess the painter that used to work for them full time, which is a fucking amazing painter.
They got killer paint.
Dude, he still has shit. I don't know him at all, but he has paint jobs where I'm like, yo, dude, I need to know how you did that.
Yeah, he does some wicked shit. Yeah. I mean, their shit's always flowing and wicked. And
the original fucking graffiti bikes back in the day, and with the Luminor light up shit. Which
Cam was a good dude, real nice guy.
I met Cam a couple times when I was doing a lot of shit in North Carolina.
Big motherfucker, man.
Yeah, big dude.
Cool dude, though.
Yeah, real nice guy.
But, North Carolina bikes have always been kind of, you see what I'm doing, right?
Urban?
Yeah.
Urban, but like kind of urban built as well, if you will. And so, I'm real good friends with Andrew from Custom Cycles, and, he's built some urban.
He just got me for $150. Bucks.
Chuck keeps bidding on that Ferrari.
On the Ferrari raffle.
Dude, I wanted that Ferrari bad, dude. But no, hanging out with him, he's the one I was talking about. Everybody thought he was a drug dealer, but the dude
hustles.
He would he would go get a brand new Harley, put a 30 on it, because when he would buy 30s, he would buy a pallet of them for a metal sport.
That's my type of style.
Yeah. Our whole up shelf for the last 10 years is 50 grand.
So when you call Hertz, you're like, all right, here's the deal. How much for a pallet of tweeters or speakers?
Absolutely.
Walk around the corner.
Absolutely. And then you get even almost distributor cost, basically.
And then you sell to everyone else. Yeah. And now you're really not even really.
No, he's a hustler. He's always messing with the cars, and I mean, you can treat this business like the streets if they want to call him a drug dealer, because he treats a motorcycle business like the streets. Yeah. Whatever. God bless him, man. It's all the same shit.
Exactly.
But dope dealer is as smart as the CEO of a major company.
Yeah.
It's the same shit, just different business.
Exactly. Can you give me those Dos Equis out there? How bad are the cops out here with drinking and riding?
Oh, we do it all.
Oh, boy. Nah, not too bad.
Hey, I've never got a DUI.
I only got one, so.
Yeah, I only got one, and that's all I ever wanted.
I only got,
He got it the morning of the bike show that we had, the big bike show we had.
That was a good night, though, for everyone except for me.
All the DJ equipment was in his car.
Yeah, it's a good time. Wow. Good time.
I got my DWI the night before I went on my honeymoon.
Nice.
Oh, man.
So we went. I know I've told this story before, but I was building a bike. I really wanted to end up getting into the building back in the day, because originally when I was the shop that I owned, which was Live Fast Customs, All Star Baggers became All Star Baggers after they kind of.
Did it really?
They kind of fucked me out of it.
Oh, nice.
So after that happened, I was building a bike, and I had this guy. It was like. I was really getting to build something really dope, and I think that if I would have got to finish the bike, then it would have been something to kind of put my name on the map for wrenching on these bikes. And then the guy just got super, super shitty with me, super shitty. Like, he kept adding new things on every month, and then his timeline kept getting further, but he didn't want to accept the further timeline. And so then one day he just kind of flipped out on me, and I told him to come pick up his shit. And then he comes and he's like threatening to sue me, and I'm like, we sat down and we agreed on I gave him a lot of money back that he already had with me, and ultimately I was so relieved that this dude was out of my life that me and my buddy and my wife and his wife went to Buffalo Wild Wings to fucking get fucked up and celebrate, even though I was jumping on an airplane at 9 a.m. or 7 a.m. to go to our honeymoon. Like I said, stayed in Buffalo a little bit too long.
Yeah.
And just got a little hemmed up on the way home, and got bailed out of jail at 10 a.m. or at 12 a.m. and on a different flight at 2 p.m. So
then jumped your bond and left the state.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Actually, I didn't get a bond. I paid it. I paid out, so I didn't have to. Because apparently in Texas, it's like if you just pay, it's like $1,000, or it was going to be like $300 or $400 to get a bail bond.
Oh, we don't have those out
here.
Or
just pay the actual fine.
We had to do that with Kyle in Daytona.
Yeah. Yeah, out here you just gotta pay your bond or just sit there for however long.
You can't just pay the.
You don't have bail bondsmen, so you say your bond's 100,000, so it'd be 10%, 10 grand, then you walk.
Yeah.
Or you just sit in jail.
Well, that's what it is in Dallas too. But you can still pay if the fine is say if you do something that fines 10 grand, you can just pay the 10 grand and get out.
Really?
But you'll still have to go to court for it.
Oh, okay.
But
I
you
thought
don't,
give them the 10 grand, you're done.
yeah, but you're paying the actual fine.
Out of here later.
Yeah, you're paying the fine up front rather than, getting a bond for it.
I got you.
That'd be awesome. Do whatever you want, just give them money.
Yeah, because the DWI fine itself is only like $1,000. But then when you add all the other shit that they do, like taking the damn Mad Mothers class and doing the DWI education and the SR22 insurance and all this shit, it ends up being like $10,000 in the long run.
Oh, dude, it can get costly out here. Unless you're just smart with it and don't do nothing. Don't talk to them. Don't do nothing.
For real.
You beat it right in the door, you'll beat it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Dude, I felt like I was a social drinker before DWI, and then I got scared to go out and drink, so I used to buy beer and go home. And so I drank 10 times more beer after a DWI.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And it sucks because it's not even the night I was super fucked up.
Oh, no, it's
never
never.
is,
It's
man.
never.
Like,
It's never.
I want to be that one-eyed thing, like, like, officer, you know what I mean?
Where you open the car door and all the alcohol pours out.
I saw that commercial.
Yeah, it's never like that.
But yeah, I've heard horror stories from people in Phoenix that get it. They treat that shit like a fucking murder.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really bad. Same thing with Sturgis.
For real?
I mean, yeah.
Sturgis, I heard you can pay
get
out.
right out. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can pay it like it's $1,000,
They just
$1,200
want
bucks.
them.
$1,200
something like
cash,
that.
and it's not like on your record or anything.
What's his Matt? What's a Moroccan?
Yeah, he got it on a skateboard.
On a skateboard
one
in
night.
Sturgis.
That's
Sean Ballisto's his old partner.
Yeah,
on a skateboard.
Electric skateboard.
For real.
that's
You got a DUI on a skateboard in Sturgis.
Yeah.
that's
For real.
fucking crazy.
That is not. That is.
It was
fact.
a good time though. when you get arrested and all this shit, it's usually a good night, dude. Like,
Yeah.
especially on a bike week.
I would just hope that interaction would get caught on like someone video it, like you get in trouble. Oh, cool, whatever. All right, well, here's a DWI. Like, wait, like the look on his face when he realized, like, what the fuck? What is this?
Yeah.
Am I dreaming? What the hell?
Sturgis, man.
Sure.
So what's the bike life culture out here like? You know what I'm saying? Like,
there's it's weird out here. It's very different, I would say. Very different, Peter.
what do a lot of people? Is there like areas like different like bars that people kind of fuck with, like big ones with bike?
Oh, that shit.
Kinda
Yeah,
go
there's
down?
still bar hopping everywhere,
Yeah.
Bike nights
It's died
are
down a
yeah.
little bit, but there's also all that COVID crap
Yeah.
going on. But
Then you got the group of guys that ride a lot. They all ride out south, go bar to bar to bar, and then you got the guys that sit in parking lots with their stereos.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
You know.
I saw a
There's
shit
not
ton of
much
bikes.
between
Like
there's a lot of bikes.
I got like instead of hitting the tollway, I just did no tolls on the Google Maps, so it took me down like 43 or some shit like that.
Harlem.
Yeah, and
That was-
man, I probably passed like fucking 50 or 60 bikes.
Oh,
there's,
yeah.
there's like about an hour out south where it's like there's bars every
Saloons
half an
and
hour,
shit.
40
It's
minutes.
good riding, man.
Yeah.
It's a
And
good
there's
time.
certain bars you
About
go to
my
there,
shops.
and
A lot of
they'll be packed.
Yeah.
And, there's all different kinds of bikes there. And
Like when I first met Pete, he'd bring me out south, like all these. I'm from the city, like
Yeah.
city, 450%, like suburbs 0 for me.
Yeah,
But he brought me to awesome places, like awesome riding. It's way different when you get out there. It sounds weird, but 30 minutes outside the city, it's a different world.
yeah. What's the city like? Is there like little areas, like little bar areas, and like
you can't go in the city, you get shot.
Shut up! Come on, nah.
The city's beautiful. Out
Yeah,
there.
it's-
You just not like a worry in the world. You go out there, there's bars everywhere, places good. I mean, it's a really good time.
It's
Beer
the best
garden,
cruising at
I mean,
night. Just
for
go
real.
downtown,
It's
cruise.
badass
That's awesome.
cruising at
Yeah.
night.
See, I've been telling people about that shit, man. I really love that feeling of just cruising through a city at night.
It's
Even if
badass.
like it's just on the highway with the building lights up.
Oh,
There
it's
used
the
to be
best.
like
Down
20. I
Lakeshore
mean, there used to
Drive.
be like 20 of us that would go downtown on bikes, and you'd meet at Rock and Roll McDonald's, and there's a gas station across the street, and the cops would come, you move, you drive around for a little bit, you come back, everyone comes back and hangs out. That was like every night, especially back in the crotch rocket
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd get off work at 9. We worked at a car dealership. There'd be 20 other bikes meeting us
Waiting
to go
up.
head downtown.
Yeah.
You'd ride to 4 or 5 in the morning.
Dude, I used to do that shit.
Wake
man. I know
up,
exactly what you are
Spend
talking about.
$10. You need $10 in your pocket for gas the
Yeah.
whole night. Like, it was good.
So we used
times.
to we had this real big bike night on Thursday nights, and we would do that, and then after that we would all go to the street races, right?
Yeah.
So we would go to the street races after that, and then we would kind of do that, and that kind of died off around 11:30, 12. And then we'd go hit all the clubs and wait for the chicks to walk out of the clubs and try to take them around the blocks.
Yeah.
Creeping, I like it.
Yeah, and then after that, we would, depending on how well that went.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'd be like 4 or 5 in the morning.
So usually we're riding the rest of the night. It didn't go too well.
But see, like it would go like, so it'd be like, all right, there's this one club in Dallas. There'd be this one club in North Dallas. There's one club in downtown Dallas. And so you go to one, like, oh, this one's dead. So you jump on a tollway and you fucking like rip to the top. Oh, this one's dead too. Well, fuck it. Let's go check this area and see what's over here. So you're riding everywhere. And then after the night's almost done, you're like, dude, let's go to IHOP. And then you're at fucking IHOP, and the next thing you know, you're going home as people are going to work.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I used to do that shit and then go to work at 7 a.m. Like not even.
We all did it, man.
That was the life. Lived at
I
mom's
left
house.
a change of clothes at my work.
Just
because sometimes I just end up on the bike and just go right, you know.
But now with the Harleys, it's just like we go to bars. Really don't ride. A lot of bars.
Well, I get, and I'm pretty over that, to be honest with you, even in Dallas. So like I don't like riding. Like since I started riding long distance, like it's ruined a lot of other type of riding for me where I don't really get a kick out of it. You know what I mean? But see, I have so many friends everywhere that like it's a real great feeling to. On the way to St. Louis, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go have lunch with some of my homies in Little Rock. You know, I'm like, fuck, man, I'm having a good time. I don't want to go. But then you go to fucking, St. Louis, and then you're with the other homies, and you forget all about it. You know what I mean? So I like that, but it makes it really hard to, get things done when you're constantly on the road all the time. Yeah. But
around here, just bar hop. It kind of gets lame after a while.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of fun.
Me and Mary get on the bike at 10 o'clock at night. Kids are sleeping, roll around, just aimlessly have a good time. Just listen to some music and hang out, enjoy the weather. That's the best riding we do around here.
But like I said, I dig that. I dig that city ride and just cruising at night when there's less cars and
all the lights in the city and the buildings are insane.
Chicago's
weather
never
feels
less
perfect.
Cars.
Nice t-shirt, nice
Hookers
weather.
Walking down the street.
Pete enjoys hookers.
No, I don't.
Hell yeah. But no, that's
I don't discriminate.
I don't discriminate. Like I said, I've never been up here, man. So it's like it's all new to me to see. It's such big cities, like it's like I feel like I'm not even doing it justice by just smashing through. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely, man. The best
when
times
you
at
leave
night
here,
though.
you need to ride through the city.
At night though,
yeah,
because there's no traffic. It's the best time.
What's Sunday? I was hoping it'd be.
It probably won't be that bad right now. No. You're on a bike, so you just.
What do you think? It should do like the Lakeshore thing?
Yeah, do the Lakeshore. Do Lakeshore. Then halfway into Lakeshore, just turn off into this. I mean, the city's just huge. The city like follows Lakeshore. Every time you turn to the left, you're still in the city.
Yeah,
and there's.
Well, if you take a right, you hit the water. So.
There you go.
Just stay north of McCormick Place.
Chuck's other job here is to correct me all the time.
Yes. No, you'll enjoy it out there, man. The riding's good. Good people watching. Beautiful city.
Yeah, I like it, man. It's like I said so far. I mean, of course, I think the south side of Chicago is like a couple more blocks still.
No, right here.
Oh, it is?
No, right. I mean, you can cross 2 minutes east of here in Chicago.
Yeah,
the city's pretty big. It's spread.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty widespread. Even though you're in the suburbs, I mean, literally would be 1 mile here in Chicago.
How much of a nerd I am is I play video games, and so there was a video game called Watch Dogs that was originally made it was a Chicago like open world thing.
Oh yeah.
And so that's kind of like my only. It's stupid, but it's true. It's one of those things, but.
It just takes a long way in the city. He knows everywhere.
Yeah.
You'll see every.
With me, I know.
Every different part of the city and how things change. One block. There's nothing that you got to worry.
The city is very, very. It's crazy. You'll be in the most expensive neighborhood you ever seen in your life, and turn the corner in the hood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no problems. No one gives a shit, But it's so out of a city when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah. As far as the bikes that you guys have been doing lately. I mean, sitting in here right now, I mean, there's a fucking Fat Boy over there next to a
77.
77 shovel. That's fucking clean as fuck, actually. Now I'm looking at it.
It's my favorite bike.
Next to a Knucklehead.
Yes, sir.
Next to a Road King 30-inch.
Yep, 30.
Next to a Performance Bagger.
Correct.
We don't discriminate, man. If
There you go.
We like them all, you know.
So this one right here, the one that Jason, you brought to SEMA last year, that y'all did the whole frame on that, right? Like it's a whole.
Dan Rollins did the frame.
Yeah.
Buddy of mine in Virginia. Fly paper.
Yeah,
It's all
yeah.
stainless steel.
Stainless steel, yeah.
That was the longest process.
Yeah.
That bike, it's so deceiving because a quick look and looks like a pretty stock street glide.
Yeah.
Is so far from. It's more far from stock than a lay frame 30 and like it. What it takes to make, and that's got the whole factory harness, factory tray.
Are those rear pegs for kids or?
Yeah.
I just put him on because he was taking it to
He's taking his
Sturgis with his
wife.
girl. There was never been.
I rode that
pegs
whole
on.
bike in Sturgis.
Yeah, I remember
and, yeah, that wasn't very.
Had no
comfortable
pegs in
for
the back, so.
Yeah, the wife wasn't very happy with that.
So I
bike.
just stuck something on there when he was leaving.
It's like long bolts.
I went through like 6 drill bits, drilled into the stainless.
I actually took those off and put regular foot pegs, kind of, but they kind of.
Yeah.
I'm like, just don't put a lot of weight on these things. I told the wife.
Don't stand up.
Better off.
Don't
just
do
taking
the
your
hot
shoes
dog
off.
competition.
Yeah.
Just take your shoes off and wrap your legs
No,
around.
and
them.
y'all guys ran the those are the Top Shot bags, right? That they came out
Yeah.
with. Yeah. Man, like I said, I think that with you guys putting your twist on this kind of scene of a bike or the genre of a bike, it's I like it. I dig it, man. Like I said, I saw this out. I first saw it when you pulled it off the trailer at the damn photo shoot. You know what I mean? I was like, God damn, that's dope. I dig it.
Yeah, you get asked a lot about the chrome frame.
Except it's not chrome.
Yeah.
It's just polished, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's, like I said, man, the thing that I think is interesting about this is seeing how people are blending styles. And that's what I think, realistically, a lot of things, that's my paint jobs. It's like, fuck, that dude's dope. That dude's dope. Well, what if they fucked? And
Yeah.
that's me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a blending of different styles of shit you like. And like I said, I think that white one's going to be fucking insane when it comes out.
Yeah, someday I'll stop working on a customer bike for a couple of days and finish it.
Probably
What
not.
how
Praying
big
for next
did-
weekend.
So, like, when y'all built that soft tail, was it El Chapo? Is that
Yeah.
what it's called? I'm surprised y'all haven't done a whole lot more of that kind of bike.
I'll tell you what. I mean, I love old Chapo, and honestly, that was probably one of the hardest bikes I built because there's nowhere. It's a lay frame soft tail, and there's absolutely nowhere.
right.
What's it?
No, he's fine.
There's nowhere to hide anything.
Yeah.
So like we made the crash bar, the air tank, and like a bunch of. It was challenging, but there's like not a big market for soft tails here, man. I did a 23-inch soft tail, like slammed all blacked out for myself that I couldn't even get 17 grand for. Like it. There's just not a market for soft tails here, man. That's how I see everyone else in Arizona with all these dirty tails. And if I built one of those to sell, I'd lose my head. I like them, but I don't know.
I dig them as fuck, man. Like I said,
I think they're dope.
Like that shovel soft tail right there is, Shope had that black one for the longest, and I fell in love with that bike.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I still want one personally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Badass.
Yeah.
That bike's badass.
So, yeah, I don't know what to do, man. How's things been with you with the shop, man? Like, do you like that better now?
Yeah, I built the shop out so I didn't have to worry about nobody would just show up where I'm at. So
Yeah.
You don't want to drive that far.
it's not that bad. It's like 45 minutes.
It's
from
terrible.
here.
It's way longer than 45.
It's 45 minutes, man.
It's 45 minutes plus an hour.
Yeah,
Plus an hour.
It's not that
I
bad.
contemplate suicide
How long's
halfway there.
how long's your drive from work every day?
It's about 35 minutes from my house.
That's not bad.
No, so it's not bad. I like it out there. I don't have to worry about people just showing up whenever. And
Yeah, I don't even have a sign on my fucking shop.
I don't either. I got a
Neither
little
do
one
I.
that says about this big that says, by appointment only. I leave
Yeah.
it locked most of the time and just kind of.
Since
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all get this up here, but I get those fucking robocalls so much on my phone that I don't even. You might have to shut the door. I don't even fucking answer the phone anymore. Period. Like I have a voicemail. There's instructions in the voicemail, and if you email me, which is basically what I'm saying in my voicemail, that's the only way I'm fucking answering. There could be $100,000 any opportunity right there.
I can imagine as a painting where you gotta be like in the zone on something, and if you gotta answer the phone, you could spend 3 hours trying to get back in the zone to start.
Exactly.
painting
Well,
again.
so for me, what's fucked about me is that I'm on a side of town where we don't have a lot of bike shops, and to be on Google, you have to kind of categorize yourself, right? So if I put collision center, then I'm getting all kinds of phone calls all day. Hey, I got a Geo Metro. I fucking wrecked it. You know, how much is... So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to put motorcycle repair shop. Equally worse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hey, man, do you have a carburetor for a 1997 or no, 77 Honda CB some
The
blah,
scooter
blah, blah.
car.
And I live on...
the best.
Yeah, the best ones. I remember those. I used to get them a lot. But I live on the side of town where it's kind of like the working class side of town, if you will. So a lot of people willing and dealing, trading shit. And so people are always trading something for a bike, and they're like, man, I got this bike on a trade, and I need to get it running again. Yeah. And it's always some piece of shit, you know what I mean, metric cruiser that doesn't have any kind of aftermarket or replacement parts ever. So I just like, man, I don't even answer the phone.
Yeah.
You know?
I hear you.
And plus, most of the work comes through fucking Instagram for me anyway, so I don't have to deal with it, so.
Yeah.
That's how I message you through Instagram. You don't answer the other way, so.
I do too.
Every so often. It's cool.
No, the Instagram is just easier, man. Well, I don't. Now it's not, because now there's so many people messaging that I lose things in there. So, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's been weird. How has it been with the shop, man? How, like, you still just bikes only still, or you fucking with cars at all?
We've done a couple cars out of the new shop, some older ones, panel job type things. We did a Willys that came out pretty killer. That we had some fun with. We got a slingshot in there now that I have to put mini truck style graphics on it.
Can you edit that out?
Yeah, I'm not very excited about this one. So.
I think the Galveston that you were there too in Galveston one year, right? I think it was the year that I was with All Star Baggers down there, and I think that I was oh, there's some big titties out there.
Yeah, I don't know what we can talk about the titties.
Yeah, it's my wife doesn't listen to this.
Can we carry the microphones out there to look at them?
So no, we were down there, and there was this right when the slingshots came out.
Yeah.
And we were drunk, and I was going back to the hotel room, and there was one in the parking lot. I straight pulled my nuts out and studded on that fucking dude's steering wheel.
That's terrible.
It's like, you're not a bike, dude. Don't wave at me. Shit's not cool.
Don't wave.
I really didn't want to do it. Just kind of shot one of those stupid prices and was praying that they wouldn't take it. And I'll have it over there.
Those things are like worse than the baggers when it comes to stereos. These motherfuckers, next thing you know, next year there's going to be trailers behind them with stereos in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
or they're going to pull their bike.
Dude, every time I see a slingshot, there's some dude with like goggles standing up, leaning over around the turn. Like, what the fuck is going on right here?
That's not a slingshot.
What's the fucking difference?
That's a Can-Am. That's
Whatever.
a snowmobile with the tires on it.
Dude, they're fucking going 10 miles an hour around a turn. And they're standing up, like leaning one.
Always some Arab dude looking
with goggles in.
Yeah, like I'm super hypocritical because if somebody pulled up right now in a T-Rex, I'd be like, "Fuck, that's so dope."
Oh, they're bad as fuck.
We just had one of those Vanderhall things come here, dude. I drove it. It was pretty cool, dude.
Dude, T-Rexes are like those rare things. That like. If you were into sport bikes, then you fucked with T-Rexes. You know what I'm saying? Because that was like the old Rough Rider thing.
Yeah, you'd see one every once in a while. I could never afford anything like that.
$50,000.
You were a balling motherfucker if you had one of those. Like straight killing it. Like balling.
And so like I remember, I'd be like, fuck, I like that. And then the slingshot came out, which is kind of that.
No.
Right?
No, it's
it's like
not at all.
No.
What is this?
That's like saying a Beetle is a Porsche. They're not the same.
Okay, that's fair.
This one's loaded with freaking air ride. The lights like crazy. The lights.
The slingshot has like it has a Chevy Ecotec motor in it.
It's terrible.
Oh yeah,
it has a steering wheel and pedals, and then people wear helmets in there.
It's like Joe Hensley was driving in Daytona.
I feel like it's the first thing for a dope dealer. If a dope dealer wants a ride and can't ride a Harley, they go right to those first.
For sure.
Then a trike.
Then
they finally graduate to a bagger.
And then they drop it.
It's good money in repair business.
Yeah.
The evolution of a dope dealer.
That wants to be into motorsports.
In motorsports? Well, I remember when I was a kid, man, like when I first got into painting and stuff, like I remember most of my customers that gave me real opportunities were drug dealers.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
One of my first jobs, I was paid in 5s and 10s.
Dude, I
Who cares?
Hey,
Get paid
cash
like
ain't cash.
I don't care.
Yeah, where do you put it?
Yeah.
Can't take this to the
I
bank.
remember the first drug dealer I ever did work for. He had like a ZX12 and it was like Chameleon, right? And so we ended up doing some stuff on top of that. But then he picked up. So I was like, he liked the business we did together. So he started like sending me all these other little things, and then he got popped. And I have like 3 or 4 bikes of his in the shop, and I'm like, fuck, I don't know what to do. So I didn't do anything. I just left them there. And then the police show up or somebody, and they take all the shit. And I'm like, I don't fucking know. I don't know what's going on. And then he gets out of jail 5 years later and asks me where his bikes are.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, dude, like they took that shit a long time ago. You know what I mean? So I don't. He's like, oh, they didn't tell me that. I'm like, bro,
what are you gonna do?
I didn't even
know
get any
that.
paperwork,
They
man.
know.
He's just trying to play you.
Yeah.
They know what they know. Luckily,
I still got a
we never
soft
had
tail.
the cops come here about anything.
I still have a soft tail in my garage.
We had a bike repoed from here, and that was it.
See,
That was the extent
here's
of
the
it.
way where this doesn't happen. Is you get the money up front.
Yeah.
You never get stuck with a
Well, if
bike.
they get popped off, I mean, they take whatever the fuck they want to take.
No,
Yeah.
but I'm saying where you're never stuck
Oh,
with something
screwed, yeah.
forever. Dude, like we try to stick with. We don't order anything without being paid for, and that
Yeah, for
weeds
sure.
out the bike you have sitting here for a year and a half that the
But
person
he's saying the guy
disappeared.
got popped off. They take the bike, and then 5 years later they
But,
come
you
back to
but
"Jeez,
even
where's
if
my
they
money,
take the
dog?"
bike, say they take the bike and they owe you a bunch of money.
Yeah.
You're never in that bind.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I said,
And
when
things
they,
happen.
when they
you
took
know,
his
like-
bikes, because he had 3 bikes in my shop. When they took them, he didn't have a balance with me though.
Oh.
It was like one, 2 of them we were about to do something on, and one he had
Yeah.
already done and was paid on, and then they got caught taking some stuff across state lines, and then get a big
Yeah.
little sentence and things like that. But and then going on later on, man, like you start like as you grow, you deal with like a next level up drug dealer,
Yeah.
and then you start getting to the ones like, are you a corporate guy?
Yeah.
And it's like they're legit like hardcore drug dealers and shit. But
Cool as fuck.
yeah, super chill.
No bullshit.
Yeah, I've always dug it. You know what I mean? Those guys are pretty chill, and they just want nice shit. But then I feel like when American Gangster came out, it kind of dialed back a little bit.
Yeah.
Because that whole vibe of that movie was like, don't be flashy, don't be
Yeah.
this. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's been crazy.
Yep.
I had to take a drink break.
Yeah. Right. Light up my 30th cigarette.
30th one. So what's been up with you, man? Like I said, with the paint stuff, like it's we only see each other at SEMA and Sturgis. It seems like nowadays.
Yeah, I didn't see it all this year in Sturgis.
Where were you at?
We stayed in Deadwood most of the time. I mean, we did a bunch of riding, but I only did one show, the Pearwood show this year.
Yeah.
Went and check that out just because it's paint.
How do you feel about that show? You want me to say it?
Yeah.
I think-
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, I like the Pearwoods. Dave and Jody are really cool,
Yeah.
but I won't put another bike in the Pearwood show. But
Yeah,
I'll
I
paint
thought
a
it-
trophy for him and help him out, but I won't
Yeah.
judge and I won't.
Not saying anything bad about them because I love those two to death. I feel like it's like shows lose their way, if you will.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to, I really felt like that at the Daytona Pearwood show. That was kind of when I was kind of done with it. The
This
one
year?
at 18.
Okay,
So
this
what-
year when in Daytona was, we were there too. I went down there for that one, and it was I wasn't too.
So that was the year that Poland's bike won and y'all's El Chapo bike won.
What was I?
But then that was also when
In
Evil.
Daytona, yeah, because we were at. Yep, that's
So,
the last time I've been at Daytona.
There was a couple other bikes that won that day that, when it comes to paint and quality paint, it should not have won.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. But the way that they judge a lot of these shows, man, like they get buddies walking around and liking bikes. It's like, no, man, like if
Oh, it's a
we're
lot of them. It's like,
Lupe.
hey, you're sponsoring the show.
Yeah.
Go pick out a bike.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
pick out your customer's bike. And then
Yeah.
go pick out your customer's bike.
And that's what's weird about it. So like when it comes to those paint shows, it's like you really need to. I feel like the couple years, like me, you, and Darren did
Yeah,
it.
we did it. That was pretty. I mean, I
felt
had fun
like
that year.
I feel like
you know.
we literally talked amongst us each time we looked at a bike, and you know, and you know, when it came up to one of my bikes or your bikes, you kind of stepped out.
And walked away and stuff. But our style is kind of the same a little bit, but it's not the same. But we each look at different things different on a paint job, you know. And Darren was, I mean, his style is totally different than all of ours. But the way he looked at the paint jobs.
What was the other guy there that was judging with us? He was like a
Tony, but Tony's always judged. He's from SADA, so he's always judging with it.
So he was judging the way that I don't think people should judge. Right, like that's not how you do it. Like he kept saying, not that I'm not saying anything about Kyle's bike because I love Kyle and his work, but every time he's like, "Well, did you see Kyle's bike over there?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, like we see it." But you know, did you see this? Like he just wanted his people to win.
Everything. Man.
Yeah, you got to like look at things.
Even if it's a bike that you don't like, you still gotta look at the paint. If that's what
because it's a paint show. You don't look at what bags and things. You look at the paint and you go, okay, is the quality there? Is it clear? Is there run? Dude, there was a bike at the Perowitz one in the 2018 that had runs in the fairing, fingerprints in the leaf, just not a clear finish everywhere. That won like best use of color or some shit, and you shouldn't have won anything.
No,
you shouldn't even get an honorable mention. Like this needs to be an elite thing. Like, you know, like the paint idea of having a paint show is fucking awesome because it kind of shows a little light to the painters, which kind of doesn't get much love in the motorcycle industry.
Right. Oh,
you know?
yeah.
And then, you know, seeing those bikes that were winning and seeing the ones like, there's been ones even in Sturgis before I know I was a judge. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Who?
Dude,
And
the ones this year that won and stuff, I was really disappointed. So
it's like, I don't know, man. So I was actually talking with Paint Huffer, and then we were thinking about doing one, but it's like I'm fucking tired of being the guy to do things like that and trying to make it.
You know enough people in the industry too that will back with you. So as long as you talk to people, you got plenty of people that will judge where you don't have to do it.
Well, I would want to do the judging. Like even we thought about doing bike shows, and I was like, I want to do the judging to where it's done like right. You don't fucking know who the judges are, right?
Right.
And maybe even you find someone that's a professional in different areas, and then they judge the bike only on what they're experienced in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, kind of get a detail guy that knows what he's doing with the wet end and the buff end and look at the finish type thing.
Yeah, you have an airbrush guy. But even if you're building a bike, though, like the bike thing is the same way because at one point in time, to win baddest bagger of Sturgis had like a meaning behind it. You know, it's like, oh, fuck, we're the baddest bagger in Sturgis. There was a time when that had some weight behind it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That was like
absolutely.
Yeah.
The Milwaukee bike or that one with the Milwaukee theme paint job on
At the museum.
Yeah.
That was when y'all did the down tubes were like the
Yeah.
See,
I mean, that kind of when that one baddest bagger had meaning.
When you won a baddest
when you won that
bagger,
one, it had meaning.
Absolutely.
When you won a baddest bagger, then dude, there was badass bikes there, and you didn't know if you were gonna win, and there wasn't nothing in the bag, and you might have thought, man, this other bike's gonna win. But there was some bad bikes there, man, and it was a big award to get, and there wasn't one every other month a baddest bagger somewhere.
But it also came with a cover on the baddest or on the American Bagger.
Yeah, no,
it was the biggest thing you could win.
Yeah.
But I mean, you went to Sturgis every year, and every guy had like the baddest bike. Every time you turn around, like
what I noticed happened, there became a kit, right? And at this time, it was Still Vision Garage. That was the painter, right? Everything.
Car.
You usually sent your motor to Phoenix, and like Mike Porum took it apart, and then it got Cerakoted, and you probably went with a Trask or a Porum turbo, and then. Certain shops, whether it was Moose or the Fly Paper Customs or somebody did the frame. And there was like this kit that was going around that was like guaranteed to win shows. And that was like, not that the work wasn't good, but it kind of never had it never worked. You know what I'm saying? Like it never flowed. Flued. I don't know what the fucking word is, but.
Yeah, it all had to be put together right, and everything had to work.
And then like the IMS shows, I know y'all have a big one here in Chicago. It's like the finale.
Hard show. That's a hard.
Yeah, it's the finale one, but like, I know that it's better than like baddest bagger as far as judging, but I even have an issue with that sometimes.
There's been some definite issues
because it's like this peer voting
like
thing.
If you follow the show and go to all the ones,
like And Chicago's like the grand finale.
Grand finale. So like, there's guys that are going state to state, blowing everyone.
For real? Yeah, I know what you mean. There was some chick and dude, like chick and dad duo out of like a Denver area that were like building a bike, and it wasn't that the bike was just. It wasn't nowhere near on the level of what we were accustomed to in the bike world, but yet they're sitting here taking checks home and shit.
Yeah, because there was a chick and their dad.
Yeah.
You know.
So it was like, fuck out of here with that bullshit.
I know.
I even, like there, Dallas is one of the stops on it, and there was a time we had a good little strong showing down there. All Star had a couple bikes that were decent, and then Misfit kind of had a thing going on for a while, but man, it was one of those shows that like people just you got to travel with it, like that's kind of hard, man.
I don't know how a lot of people, I mean, I think the only people that could travel, and there's some badass like choppers and bobbers and stuff like that, and the people that could do that and travel did it as a hobby. You can't really own a shop and just leave and go do that.
You're right, because that what I'm talking about was like that, like they were kind of garage builders more or less.
A lot of them are, and some of them are bad motherfuckers. But on the other hand, imagine what we could build if we could take 7 months and only work on that thing. I could sit there and lave every single bolt, but I can't do that and keep the business going. Like it's.
Well, that was the same concept of why I scaled back painting, because I realized that I can do 5 baggers a month, and I did at one point. But then I was like, well, the quality is nowhere near what it would need to be.
There's only, and when it all gets down to it, if you want like there has to be time in it.
Well, you have to have time in between everything, especially for paint. You know what I mean? Like what I was saying, like our buddy down in Texas, that like it's Thursday and he's just now fabbing the tank, but the thing's going to be custom painted by Monday and it's going to be on the trailer by Tuesday. It's like there's no fucking way.
I can't imagine how crude that stuff is without the body work on it.
So it's like it's
not enough time.
It's like I said, but sometimes when you have a shop though, you're dealing with that. You're dealing with, that shop said they could do it this way, and it's like, well, I don't.
And then now I got to talk shit. When you gotta scale back and not do it, because what ends up happening is your shit's gonna be all fucked up, and that's what people are gonna know.
Yeah,
that's what people hear about. They don't hear about how fast it had to be done or this and that. Or
they don't hear the good. They only hear shit.
Yeah. All you hear is the bad. That was this. And then you got Facebook.
Well, same thing. It's like whenever it comes to like, and I've said this to a lot of painters that ask, but I don't have a lot of price options, right? Like I don't have a tier. Like you don't, like I'm not going to use less quality clears for a cheaper price so I can meet your budget, because what's going to happen is you're never going to, you're never going to, if you have a Fast Life Garage paint job or your paint job, an NSD one, you're never going to go, oh, fuck yeah, I got that Fast Life Garage paint job, but I got the, the economy stage. You know what I mean? You are too busy up here.
I don't know why. It's Sunday.
They saw some stuff outside. Yeah, but what happens is when like if you build the kind of bikes that you can build, those $40,000 bikes, I know that there's a difference between a $40,000 and a $20,000 bike based on what kind of parts they decide to use. But when you do that $40,000 one at a budget and you use like cheaper shit, that really makes your shit look bad.
There were some painters that we've used in the past that will do a paint job for cheaper for someone, but use bad material. Mm-hmm. But they don't say that.
Yeah.
It's not like, hey, we'll do it for this price, but we're going to use shit material and everything's going to shrink and the clear is not going to get hard and it's going to have towel marks everywhere.
Yeah.
They don't say that until you say something about it, and it's like, well, you only want to spend $3,000. Well, no, if you said I needed to spend $5,000 or $6,000, so it's right. But then also, if you were building stuff or doing, even if you get a build and you use the cheap paint or you use this, because they only want to spend that, and they were cool with that. But when that shit's all fucked up, they're not saying, well, it's all fucked up because I only spent this and that's this and that. And I want them to do a half-assed job so we could spend this, and it looks like that. It's like, oh, DA built the bike,
Yeah.
and it's all fucked up. So I'd rather just not even go there. I only use good quality stuff, and then you eliminate all that. You know? Yeah,
it's definitely. We're gonna get to see him, huh?
Huh?
The chick with the titties. No, but yeah, that's the thing, man. Because like I said, you deal with the fact that like you start. Try to be professional, you motherfuckers.
How is there a party outside right now?
I have no. Well, because
he
painted a bike
Sunday in like 4 months.
The dude, the Steve's out there.
Yes, he wants to. I don't know, show you his bike, and so he brought 4,000 fucking people.
Oh, that's weird.
And you're famous.
No, I'm not.
You're famous, man.
I want to be like you.
You are like.
He's very excited to show you the bike.
Okay.
As they're leaving.
Hey, just go out and be like, man, it looks like shit.
We can pause this real quick and go check it out. You want to do that?
Right.
And we're back. Here we go. As the bikes leave. But no, the helmet thing. It's I think it's a good thing. But you gotta understand in the Harley world, like these dudes don't wear helmets.
Yeah.
Or they don't want to. And
I think it's becoming more popular though.
It is
with it.
But we have like what I've been trying to do.
That's what you love, right?
I remember my first Harley.
Every style bike is road
Yeah. It's like that is true. Like there was a performance bagger, a Dyna, a
wide
big
glide,
a wide glide. Y'all don't know what the fuck's going on up here.
Every single thing.
Welcome to Chicago.
I thought y'all were segregated up here.
True, yeah.
That's a fucked up group right there.
And those titties weren't big. So.
Yeah, I don't. What were titties or stomach?
Oh boy.
The helmet thing is fun though, man. Like you gotta understand, man. Like, so that helmet right there that's sitting here in the showroom, like to me, like it's a piece of art. Like these tanks on the wall and the badass fucking garage door fucking painting from Steve Gibson over there
smoking.
Like that shit's dope. And so like, why you pay to have this whole bike done right here, right? And that's dope. But then you sell the bike. It's like, to me, I get attached. I'd be like, I would want the side cover or the fucking dash or something off the bike, and a helmet might be a good way to kind of moralize that bike and keep something from it, So there's many reasons.
I have so many helmets.
Do you wear a helmet
every time?
Every time.
I do too now. I mean, the last 3 years
I try. I only wear a helmet when I'm doing some real stupid shit.
I figured you'd be used to it now driving a car like crazy.
Stupid shit.
I figured you'd be used to it with the race
car.
So,
we all rode, so we rode sport bikes, right?
Yeah.
You wore a helmet with a sport bike?
Only if I was going to be doing like stand-ups all day. And
see, I felt weird when I didn't have a helmet on.
I never wore a helmet on a sport bike, ever.
What?
Ever.
If we went... Like,
I wore shorts and Dago tee.
If we were going to be like stunt riding and shit, then I'd wear it. But if we were like just fucking off all day, I wouldn't wear it.
I slammed off the ground doing 140 in a Dago tee. I was fine.
Wow. See, I felt weird when I would wear it. But then when I got on a Harley... it kind of like the early days for me in the big wheel, it felt cool just to rock a hat and sunglasses.
All the
and roll.
bar hopping and talking shit and shit.
Well, the stereo thing, we did the stereo thing too. I had the one-off creations, 4 speakers set up and stuff like that. But I was just never the dude at the parking lot turning my shit up. I'd do it on the highway and then it
all depends how much beer I drink.
Exactly. That's my
speakers are blowing.
Asterisk.
Yep.
So. But no, then when I started riding the Dyna again, I was like, let me try a helmet. And then I was like, this is cool. And it felt weird. Sometimes it took a while to get used to it.
If I was going to be on the highway, I'd put a helmet on.
Well, so when you travel, though, you definitely want to wear a helmet.
I travel to that bar.
Exactly.
I travel to that bar.
So back in the day, when I was on the big wheel and we would go get fucked up, like there was times I left the damn... the industry party at goddamn Spearfish for the magazine.
Cold Ride Maverick.
All the way back to Hill City with one eye open.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hauling ass because, when you drink, you don't realize, I'm drinking in Sturgis on the highway.
Yeah.
Passing cars on a 30-mile stretch. It just didn't register. It's, what I mean?
How fast we would all leave together from that fucking Maverick party. Dude.
Yeah.
It was like a shit. I remember clipping by Curly. Tyler was on one side and I was on one side. We had to clip him going like 100 and something on late frame bikes, which was scary. And like lane split him, dude. Like he probably almost flew off the bike. I mean, dude, we just like buzzed him, dude.
Crazy.
You had to get back as fast as you could before you got arrested.
But you did all the shit that gets you arrested on the way home.
Oh yeah.
You had a 15-minute window, man. If you made it, you made it. If you didn't, you didn't. But you had a good time doing it.
It was a good time. It was on Mondays, right? That party?
It was usually, you know what? I think Sunday was always the liquor industry party, and it was. I think Monday was.
Yeah, I think it was Monday.
That was the only time in Sturgis I would ride and drink was the way home from that party, and that was it.
Well, I remember one year I did it with my buddy Daryl's Custom Cycles out of Dallas.
Hey, good dude, man.
Real good dude, and
he likes to party.
Yeah.
He's got some big calves too, dude. Those things are monsters. Dude. I would not want to be kicked by Daryl.
He's got some. So one year, me and Daryl, when he brought that Panicking out there, right?
Yeah,
bad as fuck.
See,
so
these
badass.
are the Sturgis days.
Yeah, the good days. And so we were all at the Knuckle, and it was funny because this is when the Hertz kind of made their kind of statement too, the Hertz speakers. So it was like,
Daryl used to get it off.
So we were at the Knuckle, and he'd pull up, and it was that Whip and Nene song. Mm-hmm. And so I
his
think
theme song, Pete.
I think all this shit's gay. You know what I mean? I talk shit about it all the time. But when I'm fucked up, it's
fun,
cool.
man. It's a good time, dude.
So we were so fucked up at the Knuckle, and he was playing that song. My wife had her fucking tits out with like Fast Like Garage stickers over her nipples and shit. And we were just having a good time, got fucked up. I know I'm fucked up because I'm like a one beer drinker, or I was at the time. But when I'm drinking whatever somebody hands me, I'm fucked up at that point. And so I'm drinking Bud Light and Michelob and all this crazy shit. And I'm like, so we left the Knuckle fucked up already, hauled ass to Spearfish to that party, and then drank Bud Light there, which, like I said, that's why I knew I was fucked up. And then I realized I got to figure out how to get back.
Yeah.
Not to Sturgis, Hill City. That was 70-something miles. It's fucking insane.
And now here's another thing that you kind of brought up. This is where the big wheel, some of the shit at Bike Grease went to shit.
Yeah.
There's a time and a place to get goofy with the stereos and have fun. It's when you're shit-faced, and everybody's shit-faced, and the bar shuts off the music, you're on the sidewalk, and everyone's just having a fucking blast.
Yeah.
Not 4 o'clock during the day when there's no one out there and you're playing, now you look like an idiot.
So the
Good point. Good point.
I agree. So the only thing that I've been very adamant about, I don't think I can change my mind on this, is that when the bagger dude, what was his name that used to stand on his seat?
Josh Beck.
I wasn't cool with that.
Neither were we. Neither were we.
You want to know why though? You want to know why though? Because even though I talk my fair share of shit about things, and I joke and poke fun at certain parts of the big wheel thing, and as I said before, I was a part of it. I did all this stuff too, and I loved it. I loved every moment that I did it. But for me, what that did was it made all those fun times and those cool bikes that I was a part of, made those look like fucking jokes.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Like there was a time where that happened with us in a parking garage at 4 a.m. with me, Chuck, Kyle, and Tyler, shit-faced just by ourselves.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Not that.
This dude was like...
It's humiliating. It's embarrassing.
I've never seen so many grown-up male cheerleaders.
That's when it went south.
Like, oh yeah, we're going to go hang out with Josh Beck and watch him stand on the seat.
Who the fuck is Josh Beck?
Exactly. He's a customer.
Did he build a bike? No. Did he paint a bike? No. What did he do?
Stood on the fucking seat.
Yeah.
So why is he a celebrity? I want to go see Paul Yaffe. I want to go see Josh Beck.
Exactly. So it was kind of a...
That's when things changed.
Dude, I used to talk a lot of shit like on Instagram.
Used to?
Yeah, a lot of shit. Well, a lot of it was because, you know, I would say a lot of the shit that I would talk was because I had a narrow mind in things. Like I would, so like I've said, if you've heard any of the podcasts, you know that
him off the internet.
Yeah, I would be like, oh man, you know, like because my perspective of what I was doing versus what everybody else was doing, there was a little bit of hating. I had a little bit of hater in me.
Does.
And then I had a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But, you know, there was just a time, man, where it's like this felt not cool anymore, you know? And when all the dudes were getting... You couldn't just pull up into a parking lot with a whole bunch of those style bikes and be like, oh, fuck, that's dope, man, I like it. Mm-hmm. The dude would have this kind of, like, elitist attitude, like he was something special. I'm like, no, we're all bikers here, dude. Like, this is all... We're all supposed to, like... I don't give a shit if you're a fucking billionaire and things like that. I don't care about your chains and all that shit. we're bikers. So
yeah, at that moment we're all the same.
treat me with some
No
respect.
matter what it is.
You know what I'm saying? And I didn't feel that anymore from that scene.
That is where the
That's
scene
exactly
died,
where it
dude.
is.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Bike weeks aren't the same. I mean,
No, nothing.
it was like I looked forward to going to Daytona because all of our friends would all finally meet up there. We don't
Yeah.
see each other all year from all over in the industry. We'd all hang out and party and
every
have
guy
shit
had
show.
a badass bike that you were excited to see.
And then all of
You
a
didn't
sudden,
do no rallies this year, did you?
no, I don't know, dude. It's like
I mean, Daytona. I mean, every year in Daytona, it comes around. You already know who's building badass bikes, like Tyler Foster.
Yeah.
You know he's
Dude,
bringing something.
He's been doing some nice
No,
shit.
it's
like-
unbelievable.
Yeah, for
He's
sure.
a fucking maniac when
Yeah,
it comes to
yeah.
shit. You know, you can build 5 bikes off the shit he decides to throw in the garbage.
oh, yeah,
I mean,
perfection.
yeah, he's insane. But you like see that stuff. Kenny
little gay,
Williams,
too.
you know, very gay, but
Tyler,
little guy.
homo.
Yeah, but you get excited. Every year I was excited and nervous because
Yeah.
we're bringing a new bike and I want people to like it and good at, you know.
Yeah, dig
It
it.
ain't there ain't bikes with people with passion going to shows like that no more.
No, it
is.
People want to buy it. They want to order it. You know what I mean? And that's why with choppers too, man. I mean, when you had like guys doing, you know, respectable, you know, 180 tires at max, it was like, oh, I dig it. It's got a little edge, a little performance to it. But then the 240, then the 300, then the 400, then you just keep going, and it becomes an envelope everybody's trying to push instead of like just building something like
Almost everything is an envelope. Whatever you do nowadays, like if in drag racing and this and that, and it's a.
I can't even imagine drag racing, man. Those fucking motors are like $80,000.
There's an envelope, and then there's also you still got to have a lot of money in it, but not as much as another person, and just be smarter and practice and you judge.
How do you
know?
practice driving a car like that?
It's not about it. It's your tune-ups and keeping down the tracks. And you know, like,
Just say like,
also missing a couple chromosomes in your head.
yeah.
You got to be a psychopath.
I
The
feel
no,
like
the
it's
no
kinda
prep
fucking
shit's pretty
nuts.
fucking.
this is how
pretty
ignorant I
sketchy,
am
dude.
to drag racing because I haven't done it since
Yeah.
I was a kid, which I didn't
When
really
a
do
10-second
it.
car was fast as fuck.
When a 14-second car was
Yeah,
fast. as fuck.
yeah, dude. You go to
Which I was-
Cody on the
There you
Mustangs
go.
and fucking, you know.
But no, like when I did a couple of those like race car bodies for
He
the.
paints front ends. Jason paints
Yeah.
front ends all the time too.
We used to do some of those back in the day, and some of these dudes would be sitting here with $80,000 motors. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Oh, yeah.
And it was just kind of like insane. And it's like not just him, because now his buddy saw me paint his car. Now I got to go do his buddy's now, and he has an $80,000 motor too.
It's even, and here's the problem with that now is now you got the people that want to race and do all these classes. A lot of stuff out here is like no time where they don't have clocks on. And
Yeah.
there's a class by the tire size, and they aren't going because they know someone's got $100,000 car that's going to be in there and they can't win. So now there's even like on that shit. There's not a lot of people showing.
So you have to make all these
money
classes,
always
yeah.
ends up fucking up
Yeah.
everything.
That makes sense. It's like, you know, you've seen those like bike shows where it's like they put parameters on it so you can't just buy things. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then you have to be more creative. But
Yep.
it's really hard to. I mean, the thing is, as much as that would never work with big wheels or even performance baggers,
Even with a performance bagger, you gotta have a badass motor. You should have power cord cases and going all the way. And
Yeah.
if you want to be the and then
it gets high.
it just gets expensive. Behringer brakes, a fucking front $6,000 front end. If you don't have that, and there's another bike sitting there with a stock front end, it ain't. You know, it's like that with everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I don't
In
know.
shows.
Exactly. So and what I'm trying to get at though is that like for business to conduct and for industries to grow, you need a big wheel bagger or a famous fat tire chopper thing to come around, or maybe coming soon is the performance bagger movement. Those things have to happen to keep
Oh yeah.
business
Yeah,
and
the
industry
trend,
going.
There's always gotta be something.
But unfortunately, the performance bagger thing, there's not money in it for shops. Anyone could do
Not
that
a lot.
Yeah, well,
Because
there's
in
not money in
production-
it. So there's not money in it in certain ways, but I think there's money in it. Everything's a challenge.
Yeah.
When things come wrong and styles happen and shit happens, you have to find the angle that makes it profitable.
Mm-hmm.
And so with this bike becoming something what it is, people do want them, but they also want to ride them. So you have to rethink of how you're going to design and build
but
things.
the thing where that comes is a lot of people that do the performance bagger do their own work.
Agreed.
And a lot of stuff is bolt-on where they can, you know, and
so that's why
where
like,
a custom, you ain't
have,
raking a frame. The guy ain't raking a frame in his garage.
so that's what I'm saying. Like, we're at the infant stage of this performance bike. So like I said, my buddy Kyle's bike is a bike that I think that most people would
Very
have
nice
to pay
bike.
somebody to build.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Very
So
nice
as
bike.
that envelope gets pushed in ours, then it's going to be something that like DA Performance needs to be here in Chicago building these style of bikes. I mean, we named some names earlier. They're all hitting me up, asking me questions about performance baggers up here. And it's like, at least you guys made the effort to do some shit. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we've always done big motors.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like, that's kind of, and I can go ride this thing all day and I love it. So I love it all.
Yeah.
You know? But, like, as far as I can't go buy a 20 Road Glide and spend 20 grand Big Bear in parts and then 8 grand, 6 grand
yeah,
paint,
so-
and there's no way in hell I'm making $1 on the thing and not losing my ass.
So you have, like I said, you're not gonna have. They're not gonna be those kind of bikes that have like super high fabrication bills,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So you just got to look at it in a way and be like, okay, so what can I do to set me apart in this that I think people would want because it'll push the envelope and push the bar,
For sure.
and you know, like you'll make money. You'll make money in quantity.
We just did a brand new bike that one of our good customers dropped off and wanted to do a performance bagger, and he rides. Like,
Yeah.
he goes far.
He's a rider, motherfucker.
I ordered tons of stuff from Big Bear and did the whole front end,
20,000 miles a year.
and it was actually the bike I called you on.
The Geiger one.
What?
The
It's
HR
actually
guy.
just all black right now and red. No one ended up airbrushing right now because we just end up just putting it together so you can ride it. But I don't even remember where I was going with this.
Something about some dude you met in the alley. You gave him $20. And,
Yeah, we can't talk about that. Right now.
okay.
It wasn't a dude, okay.
But I would do those all day. I
Nice tips,
actually
though.
I had a lot of fun building that bike, even
Yeah.
though like that was really easy for me, which is.
Yeah.
But it was fun doing something different, and then opening a box with a badass front end, and like I enjoyed working on that bike a lot.
It's like the white one. It's like this one, right? So, and then the other 15 or 20 bikes out there that you guys have that are frame off, big wheel things going on. So those bikes are still fun and they're cool, but realistically, like there's no more envelope to push on that.
No, I mean it's the same. It's the same
Yeah.
build every.
So now you have this new thing that, you know, the parameters are different. Like okay, don't go too far this way because then it takes it out of this. Don't go too far that way. You got to stay in this
But
kind of thing.
that's the hard part. I mean, it's like these bikes are, I mean, in all reality, pretty plain.
True.
So how can you make them different? Like, I mean, that bike, I went to a run not too long ago, and my buddy's father walked up and was like, I never expected you driving a stock bike. I'm like, oh, it's all carbon, big motor.
That's his go-to
carbon.
bike to go beat the fuck.
That's the
out.
bike I leave at my house and drive.
Yeah.
But it's like kind of disappointing. I'm like,
But then
man.
sometimes you
So
go
then-
out and you pull up at a bar, and you pull up on that, and then there's some dude with a late frame 30-inch bike, and you're kind of like,
so
man,
that's
I kind of wish I had my 30-inch.
Yeah. So that had
But I had a lot of fun beating
that
the
took
shit out of
me
that
a
bike all
while.
day.
That took me a while to deal with because being on my old white bagger and then going to my Dyna, which was not even the same fucking category of like custom and shit, right? But then I have a good buddy, we call him Big Will Cody, because he used to come do all the shit with us, and he had a 30-inch Street Glide, and he would try to keep up as good as he could. So he got the name Big Will Cody. Now he's on a soft tail lowrider and he's doing cool shit, but he would pull up and he was riding with us. So he wanted to be able to hit the corners and ride and jump the curbs and just kind of be lawless, if you will, as we were. And we were like, we had no envy towards him at all. Like, fuck, I got what I want. I know you want this. But then we stop at a goddamn gas station. It was a goddamn bike show every time.
Took a glance at.
Yeah.
And I really dig these Fat 23 like road glides we've been doing, because honestly,
they ride better.
They ride pretty damn. I mean, that orange one I just finished, that makes 150 horse with Behringers with a Fat 23 on air. That dude beats the living shit out of it and rides it hard as fuck.
See,
and you kind of got like the best of
both worlds.
You know,
and so that's what I'm
mean?
saying. Like, I see that there is a thing for that. You know, like, the purest of like our little circle of the performance bagger guys are always going to be more towards like suspension.
Yeah.
Suspension bars is kind of like
It is. If you want to hit
person ride the bike,
if you want to hit turns real hard, you go buy a jet bike.
Exactly. So what I think of is when I try to be open minded to the thing is like it's a style, just like a Frisco chopper is a style, just like a Midwest chopper is a style, just like a Pro Street FXR hamster bike is a style.
It's all a style. Like that bike that was just here that Hoffman built, I think is bad as fuck.
It's nice. Yeah, super nice.
You know, and I look at that the same way I look at a bit like eventually, that's a badass bike. Like,
eventually, it might not be now because you gotta understand, like most of the people that oogle over bikes are not really bikers.
No.
Right? They're
that's what we found out on those hot bike tours. Man, you pull up into these little towns that people ain't ever seen anything like this in their goddamn life, dude. And you're like,
so like for the most part, at the same, like I will say this, like if you have a big wheel bagger, you're probably gonna pull more chicks, right?
Or more dudes.
No, I think if you get like,
I think the dudes go more wild than the chicks do.
Apparently that's just bikes in general.
You know, the overweight white guy getting off the bike is not impressive either.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like,
the FXR we're gonna build is gonna be called the panty dropper.
No, it's a boxer dropper. It's
the boxer dropper.
No, it says boxer dropper.
That's what they painted like that in Leaf.
Nice.
Painted it.
That's a good one. That's a real good one. But no, that's the truth, man. Like it's not like a bike that wows people, but I think it's also because it's very new and different. Mm-hmm. When I was riding my gold FXR around, most of the time I stopped in a damn parking lot, I got, hey, is that a Sportster? You know, because you got to think, man, like, you know, when I saw you guys buy that knucklehead, I was like, oh shit, they actually care about the motorcycle culture.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? I was like, that's dope, because a lot of people that I saw coming into, I said this last night on the podcast I recorded with my buddy Kyle. I said, I don't care what got you into bikes. I just hope that you got into bikes and not just whatever comes with it, the money, the fame, whatever.
For sure.
So when you get into bikes, maybe it was the big wheel bagger that inspired a lot of people to come into it. Well, then if you really like it, then you're going to fall in love with the heritage behind it, which is going to be that shovel head fucking soft tail there, or that knucklehead right next to it. You know what I mean? It's the love for that bike. And so a lot of people don't get that. Like, they're like, big wheel or fuck off. And I'm like, I appreciate your
it's the same as it's big wheel or fuck off. It's diner or fuck off. It's when everyone's in what they're in, and if you're not into that, then it's fuck off that.
Until they get over it.
Nothing's better than going to a bike show and you see just something that's not your thing.
I like seeing it all.
And you're just like,
fuck,
this guy's insane.
Oh,
it's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen.
Like 4 years ago in Sturgis, right when who were some of the guys that were building some real badass like performance style or bobber style, like, but I cannot think. Tyler and Kyle knew them all. There were some bad. These are some bad bikes that weren't necessarily our style. And I sat there and looked at it for 20 minutes.
Newman.
Yeah.
Unfucking believable.
I'd sit there and look at it for 20 minutes like, this motherfucker is bad, dude. Like, what he did here, you know.
Well, it's the same thing when you would say, like, Moose when he built Element 13.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's no way you could be a chopper builder and not look at that bike and go, damn.
Yeah.
And the fucked up thing is, like, because they built it and never win anything. And that bike would just shit on anything that was at a show. It was next to it, dude.
Yeah, that bike never got the love it deserved.
Dude.
Yeah, it got
I ripped
wrapped
my
up
fucking
in
shin off
politics.
that saddlebag lid last time I got off that bike.
Yeah. You ever drive that thing? Holy shit, man. Your hands fucking feel like
they're like
fall off
they're
your
like
body.
billet valve covers, and you get off and your shin is fucking. It put me on the ground, dude, getting off that motherfucker.
I had. So like a couple years ago, I remember I was kind of going through I'm bored with big wheels phase, and it was the same year that Hoffman brought that shovel, that lay frame shovel.
Wide?
You remember how there's that little area?
Yep.
Joey Hensley was doing it where they were taking like stock like 21s and lay framing them.
Yeah.
I was into that shit hardcore.
Dude, we did that. We did Doug McGoon's Road King.
That's
dude.
right. Yeah. So
it's funny. Someone just called me that bought it in California. I was asking about it. Yeah.
I thought that shit was cool because
that was another one. I was super excited doing it. Like, you do the same thing every day, dude. It's like a whole.
It felt like, you know, because it was right around the same time too that like the whole barn find thing for like C10s and shit was getting big. So it was like you want to just take like that station wagon and fucking body drop it or wherever the fuck these mini trucker dudes say, you know, just looking for a word. They just put it on air and lay it on the ground. There you go.
It was so crazy because when we did that, there was like a couple kind of big shops that did rot and stuff, they'd call him like, how do you lay frame with that 21? I'm like, I don't know, you should know. You set it on the frame. You got to move the neck up as far as you got to go.
It was a cool bike, man.
You know?
Yeah, that shit just looks fun. But it was like a breath of fresh air. You know what I mean? So like I said, that year I went to Sturgis, I saw that, Curtis brought that, I think it was a Tour Glide.
It's a Tour Glide, yeah.
Tour Glide.
Yeah,
That's
and
a
I
cool
was
bike.
like, man, that's fucking cool, man.
Cool.
And I was kind of starting to get into choppers, like not 2000s choppers, but the vintage chopper thing, like the knuckleheads and the panheads.
That's why Daryl was like ahead of the his time with that fucking
Yeah.
green bike, dude.
But Daryl's, I've known Daryl for a really long time, and Daryl started in the early chopper days.
Yes.
Or the early 2000s chopper days. So he has like a...
What, calf raises?
Huh? Calf raises.
Remember that ass kicker bike that was there fucking?
That was one with the leather
knuckle
bags
dragger.
and shit. Yeah.
Badass
I remember
bike,
going there like, there's no chance of winning nothing. This thing's bad.
It was good though, but see, that was the thing.
That was cool. I liked that.
That was the envelope,
Oh, I
pushing the
enjoyed
envelope
it.
in a direction that made more sense than like, all right, next year let's just, instead of doing it with older motors and different shit, let's just put a fucking tour pack with a fucking 10 by 10 in there, where the fucking speaker is.
The knuckle dragger the one year. The next year was the hubless bike.
Yeah,
Paul
Ballistic.
Tracy had a 32 bike.
Ballistic never really
Trask.
got any real. I think that what was his name? Tim.
Yeah.
Tim would build these amazing things and just it would get flown under the radar. I felt like.
I don't know. He got a lot of press with this stuff. I mean, that
Yeah,
year,
I think he
the
got
year he had the
press out.
hubless bike. It was like at that show was the Element Misfit. He had the hubless bike. He had that red thing from that guy from Arizona, that lobster thing. Wild bike. Paul Tracy
the guy
had
that was on the show.
that 32, and Nick Trask had that assault bike, the first assault bike.
That's
They had a show.
Nick
You're like,
Tra-
what the
if-
fuck? I mean, that's
like
unbelievable.
Trask bike. If I had an open checkbook, who to
Yeah.
build me a bike, it'd be one of those
I'll say
assault bikes. Those
check this
motherfuckers
out.
are bad, dude.
The year I brought my gold FXR to Sturgis was the year that Trask built that 143 turbo FXR.
Yep.
It got no love.
I know.
with the
FXR.
pie cut exhaust.
Yeah.
Cool bike, man.
That
no
bike's
love.
bad as fuck.
Yeah.
It is
Bad.
So but
Safety
that,
wired bolts. Do people know how long it takes to sit there and do all that stuff? To drill holes through stainless steel bolts?
so what happened? What I've noticed, what happened?
Dude, you gotta have fixtures.
Dude, yeah, but dude, people understand what it takes to
They
do
don't.
that. Like,
Well, when it comes to the FXRs for sure, and I can speak on this, is there's a lot of different. It's a bike that has a lot of different genres, right? From the early '90s hamster dudes that were taking them and turning them into like pro street style, to
The hamster bikes?
Yeah, I call them hamster bikes. But then you got the purist guy that's like, that's a fucking OG paint. It's
Yep.
this, and then you got the club style dudes that just want to fucking rip them and do this. There's so many different guys, and not
Oh, yeah.
all of them click as
No,
far as
they
like,
don't,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so when Trask pulled up with that bike, there's another dude that pulled up that same time with a really nice 143 bike as well, which is a Danny D out of fucking Detroit. He has a Clem Speed Shop up there, and it was a
Okay.
clean ass bike. But from my big wheel background or knowing Trask and knowing all these people, I knew how much more shit was done with the with Trask bike. But like I said, it was like one of those things that the FXR community is a little bit more, like you can't bring money in and get respect. You got to, even though like I said, the Trask bike was dope. He earned the respect in my book, but
see, you
gotta be an FXR
that's
guy.
the same thing as not being at a paint show and not being judged right.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It don't
Nick-
matter how
Nick
much
does
money. If
everything
you're bringing
bad.
it to a show, it's the baddest motherfucker that should win it.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's it.
I have,
Don't
I
care
have
if he's
no
a millionaire.
problem
Don't
ever
care if he
losing
didn't
against
build
the
it
bike.
himself.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
As long as it's the right
It's
bike.
The baddest bike.
Nothing's worse than going to a show and you win it, and then there's a bike next to it that's like way better.
Yeah.
It's
Don't even feel
it's
like
fucking
that.
embarrassing.
It sucks, man. Like I stopped doing shows a long time ago for that reason, because of the way it's, to me it's the same way of gambling. Like when you're gambling with something in my head, like I get so stoked because I feel confident about something, and then to lose, I'm like, it really puts me a lot lower than I ever would have been if I just didn't play the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but then at the same time, like I feel like, I'm a painter that can wrench, but I'm not a bike builder, right? And so when I do build a bike or I do customize a bike, and then I come and I fucking sit it next to like something like you guys have built, then I'm like, fuck, man, like it fucks with my, like, I'm like, it's
But
not
that's
my
the
thing.
good part because it pushes you.
It does push me, but like, there's always this level of competition in my head. Even Jason right here, he does a badass paint job, and I'm like, That's badass. I like it. And I'm like, fuck, I gotta. There's the envelope. You got pushed. I got to do it harder.
That's what it's all about.
I want
people
that.
lose
Yeah.
that in them. You know what I mean? We went to Daytona. First time I went to Daytona, I was so confident in the bike. Pull up, Kenny Williams is sitting there. Armor all on his tires. Most unbelievable bike I've ever seen.
Armor all
he shit on me.
Oh yeah,
Shit on me.
Tommy
Shit on
Bahana's
me.
button-up shirt.
Yeah, button-up shirt. He's got, you know.
Oh, dude, he gets so
yeah.
much pussy.
But dude, but the bike is unbelievable. And
It
I
looked like
respected
it was
it.
fake. It was
Yeah.
the cleanest,
that
spotless,
yellow one?
perfect.
no, it was like
like
a
Cerakote
purplish.
mold. Like it was just like too nice, not gaudy.
Yeah.
Whatsoever. It was almost like it was like a fake.
And then
Matchbox.
next year,
Like,
we did a bike, and it was better. And I pulled in there, and Kenny had another bike that shit on me. But Kenny said, "Wow, you went so far in 1 year."
That's cool.
How
and
much
that was
better-
like the cool shit.
We
That's
won.
what inspired
So let me ask you
know,
this:
like, that's
that
what-
to me that would be a compliment.
Oh, I
right?
was
I was not winning
so
nothing,
I was so
man.
geeked.
That was better than winning anything.
I feel
Yeah.
like nowadays though, I feel like people take that as like a threat. Like, oh,
It's
fuck
the
you.
wrong people. It's
No.
not the
Yeah.
same people. That
I respect them. I was so excited that he said we got better. So hopefully the year after you get better.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the progression
Yeah.
of it. I mean, if we had a bike in here from 07, it's fucking embarrassing.
So
Yeah.
that's what it was a lot to win a show like that because you're going against like your
The best.
Like you, when we won a baddest bagger, it was like, God damn, we
Aesthetic.
did it,
Yeah.
dude. Like we were working on it in the
That's
trailer
it, man.
there on the way there, and it's like we're fighting with each other. He's like, we shouldn't even have brought it out because it's not. There's certain things that aren't working right, and this. I'm
Yeah.
like, we got to get it there, dude. We worked this hard,
Yeah.
but you start fighting because that's how much you care about the show.
That and
Like,
and
now I told
a
the
year is a
Colin I
long
wouldn't
time. A year is a long time in like in our industry. I mean, think about how quickly things become obsolete.
Absolutely.
You know, so if you don't make Sturgis, you don't make Daytona or whatever show it is, waiting till the next show in that city, whether it's like a World of Wheels show or
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that, it's not relevant anymore. I can't put a tarp over this bike for the next
no, it's
year.
already-
You know what I mean? So there is deadlines that kind of make or break situations. You know what I mean? So
Well, especially with this stuff, I mean, you have an idea, and unfortunately, your idea or someone else had it probably, or someone sees it and your idea becomes their idea. So it's a really like a tightrope. you know?
I get that. I mean, I talk about this with painters all the time, man. You know, every painter, there's certain ones like I'll paint a bike for a customer, and I used to. This was really bad in the big wheel thing because they all had Facebook, right? So they would get on Facebook, and then anybody else that did a blue bike, let me know where you got that idea from. You know what I mean? It's like
I hate that.
I hate it too, and it's so annoying because
The brown bike.
some customers like to rile up shops. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Like not that this happened, but let's just use me and Jason for an example. Jason paints a bike for a guy, and then that guy is stoked about it. He's on cloud 9, and then unbeknownst to me, I also had a bike in the works that was going to be candy gold, right? And then I come out, and then now mine's 2 weeks later,
Yep.
but it's getting the love
Now
on
you copy off
Instagram.
him.
And this dude's like sending him a message like, do you see this motherfucker copied me? Copied you? You know, and he's trying to get Jason riled up to be part of this like beef because he's, you know what I mean?
That's the nature of all the motorcycle guys. They're
Yeah.
all like women.
Yeah.
They are.
But the farther
High
it
school
got
girl
to those
drama.
kind of people is the worse everything got, and when it started going.
Well, so you gotta recognize that shit up front and realize that like there's only so many colors.
That's what I said. There's only so many colors, dude.
No
And,
Combination.
and some of them are the reason why you see a lot of candy red or candy gold or candy blue is because it looks good.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot
And
of
you know
other
what you told me
colors.
they never looked at a color of a bike and said, damn, I love that color. I want to paint my bike that color. Because they like the
Exactly.
fucking color.
Exactly.
And it's their money.
You
and
know-
it's they like that color.
I
You
have
buy
a couple.
silver car.
I got a
and-
couple color combinations that I've done on helmets that have turned into like every bike wants that color combination, and I hate doing that iteration of a paint job 100 times. But at the same time, I got to make money.
Yeah, you gotta pay your
you
bills.
know? And this dude is paying good money, and he wants that. And now I got to figure out how to redesign that thing in that color scheme. You know what I'm saying?
So here, that white bike,
Uh-huh.
my bike, I wanted to paint it gray with the gold.
Uh-huh.
And you did that bike, and it looked fucking killer. Like,
Which one?
You
Oh,
did
Gray
it.
one with
the gray
gold.
with the
Fahrenheit.
gold leaf.
with the low. Yeah.
I wanted it. I wanted it, dude.
Yeah.
That was a color. I absolutely fucking loved it.
Appreciate that.
And I'm like, no matter how he paints it, It's those colors.
Yeah.
It's gonna look like that, and it's gonna look like.
Who was that cat that had the TOL fairing that did the like a lay frame looking bike? We had a gray. It was the Battleship Gray like 2 years ago, I think. He was out like Midwest somewhere. Had like a normal bags, I believe, but he had the TOL.
Oh, the port.
The Dave's bike.
Yeah. It was a good looking bike, man.
Oh, it's great.
Oh, it's a beautiful bike.
Looks
Still
great.
is.
Yep.
But yeah, I want that color combo.
Let me tell you a story about that bike. So that's a good buddy of mine out of Jacksonville, Florida, and I literally just did a helmet for him before I left to come out here. He hit me up, and he was doing a 143 Dyna. His Dyna's got the bee's knees of whatever. I don't know. It's the shit. You know what I mean? And he goes, all right, we finally, I done helmets for him. And he's like, all right. So I was like, what are we doing on the paint? And he goes, man, I just like Battleship Gray, man. And I'm like, all right, so what else?
That's the worst color ever.
Man, I don't know. I kind of want a factory-looking paint job. And I was like, you mean to tell me you're building the baddest fucking Dyna on the planet and we're going to put factory pinstripes on it? And he goes, man, I really don't want it loud. I want it super subtle and clean. I was like, well, what if we replace the pinstripes with gold leaf?
Yeah.
And what if you let me do some pearl designs in the gray that's not that visible, but it's there? That way, for one, I can charge you.
Yeah.
And B, it's like you have from here to across the parking lot, you're going to see the gray and the gold.
Yeah.
But then when you walk up on it, you see the gold pearl and the little designs pop. So it was a compromise that I had to make for the simplicity of what he wanted, but ultimately it was like the most liked photo or paint job I've done.
It's killer.
Yeah.
And it sucks because I didn't even draw it.
Really?
Awesome. So I post a lot of pictures of me like when I'm trying to sketch up ideas, and I literally would have like nights where I'll spend a week or two every night, just an hour or two a night, just trying to get an idea. And then I'll do that paint job and then execute dope. I'm fucking proud of it. And then the internet's like, nice job.
Yeah.
And then the one that I don't draw, that I just wing it, and then everybody's like, fuck, you're the best. Hell yeah, brother. All that shit. And then it's like, fuck, man, like, this is bullshit. Like, this one shouldn't be that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a weird one.
Oh, yeah.
I screenshotted it.
So that.
Oh, dude, we're going back and forth about that paint job.
The great camo.
Just no matter how we did it.
Yeah.
It was. I thought and then having some purple in it too or something. It did.
That's mine, dude. You just take the purple.
It didn't.
You always fall back on purple.
Yeah.
It just didn't matter. It was gonna look like.
So when we walked out there earlier, and I said this, like that RT fairing is so complicated to paint to match the newer bagger stuff. Mm-hmm. Right, so on FXR, it's kind of like you can get away with a lot of things because there's a lot of space between.
Yeah, it doesn't flow into it.
But on a bagger, and especially all of us, we're all used to stretch bags, stretch side cover, stretch tank, this connection to everything, right? And so now when you've been doing that shit for so long, and then you jump to this where nothing touches, and you got to make things flow still. That's where it gets complicated. But it was like a healthy challenge for me, at least, to figure out how to be a professional again on something new, on a new canvas. You know what I'm saying? And that fucking fairing is tough, man. Like, that's why when you came out with it, I was like, damn, he found some lines on there.
I never cared to paint another one of those.
I don't like painting though.
God, and it's huge. I can't imagine.
They're inner and outer together.
And it's so hard to get it just so you can get everything and
I'm not looking forward to wiring
it.
I would rather do
with a radio in it.
Yeah, for sure.
I had the one without the radio, and Sean's like, I got one with radio, I'm going to send it. I'm like, I was kind of
you did the screen and everything, yeah. That was the one that he was making for the Road Glide, so you can take a Road Glide fairing off, which I love Sean the Deaf. He hit me up and goes, hey, man, I got this new fairing. I was like, dude, I bought my Road Glide for some fucking lower side cover fairings.
Yeah.
I'm not taking that off.
Yeah.
I paid $28,000 for this bike.
Yeah.
I wanted that $400 piece.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, man, but no, that's the fun thing, man. Like these new parts come along, the new fairing. Like think about it. That fairing, I remember Yaffe started posting pictures of him building that 23 with the pointed tank.
Yeah.
And I remember the fucking FXR community going nuts. They're like, fuck, no,
Yeah.
better not, you know what I mean? And then like he's fucking doing it, and I'm sitting in the background like, I'm kind of interested in this. I want to see where it goes. Like it's cool to see like different flavors come into different bikes, but there is that tribalism. There is that fucking like, it's this way or the highway kind of guys. You know what I'm saying?
That's not good though.
It isn't.
No, it really isn't.
It isn't.
I appreciate everybody's bike, no matter how bad or how badass it is.
Yeah. It just, when you add those new parts, it kind of changes the canvas, whether you're building it or painting it, and it kind of becomes a challenge again. It becomes new, as opposed to, all right, I got 5 bikes to paint, TOL bags, Top Shot bags, Black Label bagger bags, and then maybe you're doing a Camtech setup. And it's like that's the only thing that's changing. The tanks are all the same because someone figures out a good tank option, and then that becomes the norm.
Yeah.
And then that's what it is. So, I don't know. It gets boring.
Super.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing exciting when it comes to that.
What do you like painting the most right now? Nothing.
As long as it's not a bagger.
Tell them about all the
helmets.
The dildos you started painting for people. That's been kicking off.
Pete's my best customer.
Pinstriping
them. The baggers are just. I've done some helmets lately, and I really like doing the helmets. It's just something different.
It's taking your money.
No, there's enough to go around, dude. I can paint 40 helmets a year. That's it.
I thought you say a month. I'm like, good
no,
for you.
Fuck no. If I did that, I would have pulled up here.
Poland gets like 20 grand at home.
Poland's like, why do you have a helmet from a guy that paints motorcycles and you have a motorcycle painted from a guy that paints helmets?
That's good. Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm like, I don't know. It just worked out that way.
I feel like more of a, it's funny because, me and Poland talk a lot too. And I feel more of a helmet painter now than a motorcycle painter. You know what I mean? Like I was talking to my buddy last night, Kyle, who works in a paint shop and things and everything like that. And I was like, man, I added up the amount of bikes I painted this year. I've only done 9. That's the lowest I've ever in my life. I mean, there was a point in time where I would do 9 bikes a month. In like 2014, 15. I mean, they were great, but there was a lot of bikes, man. There was a lot of bikes.
Well, what's Kyle's shop? Is it a collision shop or?
Well, no, they do. It's Springle Innovations or something like that. But they do everything. Yeah, Kyle's more of a body mechanic and everything like that. Yeah,
put stuff together.
Yeah, I've only met him once at SEMO. We kick it out while Pete loses money on the roulette table. He's with the little French guy.
Oh yeah. The French Canadian Daniel,
the little guy.
He's the best.
He's a nice guy.
He's such a sweetheart. But no, the paint, like I said, the helmet thing is, man, it's like painting a canvas and being able to sell your art, man. You know what I mean?
Well, and you don't have to dick around with all these parts and body work.
And you know what? If it takes me 6 months to do it, nobody's fucking tripping because. I'm not keeping you from your shows or your rides, and your helmet's not making or breaking your experience at Sturgis.
I never thought about that.
Oh, I get it 100%, man. If you could make a living and do good painting helmets, I wouldn't even think twice.
I actually never thought about that.
Painting a bike again.
No one wants to kill you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually a really good selling
point.
So, like, right now, I feel guilty being here, on this trip, doing this stuff right now, because I've got some customers that have been waiting 6 months for a helmet, but I try to tell them, like, look, I feel like since I started doing things this way, I've done the work I'm most proud of in my life. And I'm really stoked whenever I do a helmet for somebody and I put all this time and effort and you love it and the internet loves it and everything's great. But as soon as they get shitty with me or they get, like, stressful to me,
fire them.
I get rid of them. I go,
sometimes you gotta fire people.
Here's your deposit back, which is only $200. Here's your deposit back and here's the helmet you bought.
And you know what? If it starts to feel that way, it usually is that way. It is. Like, there's been so many jobs I've taken where, like, it was already an argument. There's already prices, shit like that.
Don't do it.
Don't even do it.
It's always good to fire a customer.
Because I guarantee the guy's not going to be happy.
Yeah.
You're going to wish you never did.
You're never going to be
It's going to be the biggest pain in the ass. And then they get the guy, like, you made what you should make and everything was good, is the happiest person ever.
I've been associating my experience, like, with that into saying that my consultation to do work with somebody is like it's an interview, if you will, for me to manage the expectations of what you want and what I provide. Mm-hmm. And if I feel like in our conversation about what you want to do and what and where you want to go and how long and what you all the parameters. If I don't feel like it's something that's in my alley, in my style, it's really hard to tell people no. And people don't like to hear no whenever they chose you to spend money with for something that's a luxury, right?
Yeah.
But in the long run, I'm saving everybody the headache.
Everybody.
You know what I mean? And I've had it. I don't get it as much anymore, but I'd have it. I'd have a dude would send me 40 photos of things he likes, and it would be Jason's work and Lucky Strike and fucking Schultz and you name it. Every other painter in the world. And he'd be like, man, I really would love to see what you're going to do with this. Like, none of that is mine. None of that is my style, bro. Like, I'm not even going to try to – I don't even want to do that because I don't want to try to be these other guys when those other guys are down the street. Go to them. You know what I mean? I had a conversation with a dude 2 days ago on Instagram that wanted me to just paint his fairing. His bike was already painted by another painter, and he wanted me to match a fairing because he didn't want to deal with that painter again.
Just stop answering.
And I told him, I was like, man, I'm sorry.
It's the easiest way out.
I'm sorry, man. I was like, I only do the full bike or whenever it goes, all right, well, I'm going to hit up Gerald at Valley Customs. All right, cool. You need his number? Because that's my boy.
Yeah.
And I know, maybe he will. I mean, he has a much bigger overhead in his shop than I do. So, I mean, I don't want to speak for him, but maybe he would love that opportunity. Yeah. But for me, I don't want that. Yeah. I don't want to try to do a flame job to match someone else's flames. That's fucking hard as it is.
Hell no.
There's a lot of things, man. But you learn these things as you grow in this business, man.
It's also the better you get and the better
I mean, when we first started,
you can choose.
Yeah. When we first started out, we had to take shit we did not want to do. Dude.
Yeah.
Like, not looking forward to doing this.
You didn't want to take it. You took the stuff because you were thirsty. And
you got to start somewhere. Yeah. You don't just all of a sudden get good work.
15 years later, you look back and you're like, man, I would have never did that.
There's starting points.
There's a lot of bikes we built that never got posted.
Yeah. I've done a lot of paint jobs.
Everyone has. You might not like it.
But it gets weird when you start like, because this is kind of arrogant to say, but, I'm good at saying things like that. So when Instagram became big, right, it became a bigger part of our industry, there's times when shops, would try to hit me with the whole like, yo, man, like I want you to paint this bike. I think I got a lot more back. And I was like, I'm not cutting you a deal because I'm going to give you more exposure for your business.
That route.
You know what I mean? It's like you get all these different angles of people and stuff.
But at one point in your career, you thought like if you had Master P's bike, you were going to kill it.
Exactly.
No, I mean stuff like whoever it is, whatever.
Yeah, we missed out on a bike for 2 Chains.
Yeah, I talk shit to him, but whatever.
It's before 2 Chains.
Dude, when I was younger, I thought, you know what? One day I'm going to get the opportunity to paint a Hayabusa, and I'm going to make it. I'll be made after that. Mm-hmm. That was my thought process in 2004 when I was painting fucking F4Is and goddamn Yamaha R6s and shit. You know what I mean? And then that happens. You're like, okay, nothing really happened. But, man, when I get to paint the first Road Glide I ever get to paint that's all mine, I'm fucking making it. And I needed those little goals and stepping stones to keep me fucking, stoked about doing shit. But
the celebrities and stuff like that, every time you think it's not going to work out that way.
I mean, God, like 10 years ago, someone with any kind of name wanted we'd be doing it for like next to nothing. Fucking
I'd probably buy the bike for
what happened about a year ago? Rick Ross called me.
Yeah,
for real.
It was a real Rick Ross, man. And I was sitting in my bathroom. I was shaving, and we were going somewhere. I answered the phone. It was like on a Sunday. It was like something. I'm like, well, why do I answer the phone? But I answered it. And he's talking. He wants to build a bike like that all white one we did. Uh-huh. And he's going on and going on. And I'm like, man, his voice sounds familiar, man. And he's like, I want a cocaine white. And like, and he said he was Rick Ross. And it was like a Georgian. It was Rick Ross.
He turned the clip
Then
off.
he wanted a fucking deal and wanted like a $80,000 bike for $40,000. Yeah. And now at this day,
I wanted to do it.
He still wanted to do it. But why you're rich. Why can't you give me a bunch of money? I'm not rich. Yeah. Why do I gotta lose my ass?
Well, I've dealt with some celebrities that it's weird because like it still boils down to the mindset of that guy. The dude might have money, but also understand that we're all in the hustle to make it, and just respect and pay it because he wants this, or. It's just there's no angle there that works. I mean, like if I paint this bike, I remember when my boy Robert Fisher from Roaring Toys built Ludacris a bike a long ass time ago. You know, it's like, oh, cool. It was on the cover of Two Wheel Tuner. Never heard anything else about this bike ever. It wasn't any
and that's
videos.
what I try to say. Like, dude, a lot of the time when someone's looking for a deal and like with all that crap, it usually doesn't benefit you. I mean, like,
yeah, it's like what is the deal? Like,
yeah,
you know, like
it's not like if we did Rick Ross's bike, Lil Wayne's gonna call us the next day and have a bike built.
and then you got to do another
Yeah,
cheap bike.
Another church
next.
deal.
Well, how does
want
that-
a little baby, the baby, I'm a baby, like all the different baby rappers are gonna be.
Baby rappers.
It's like 7 baby something.
How many cigarettes do you think he smoked?
I don't know. I haven't been counting. We've been doing good on
He
beers.
probably
though.
wanted to have a counter on this during
Two
this. And how
packs?
many cigarettes?
Two
No,
packs.
I didn't smoke 2 packs. I might,
But no, when like check this out. Not a celebrity by no means the level of Rick Ross and things like that. And I don't mean to say my friend isn't famous, at least to me. But I was doing an FXR for a dude that sent it to me, and then while I hit him and said, all right, so let's talk about the design. So I'm calling him on the phone, and he had listened to a podcast. And my brother looks like Jax Teller sometimes.
okay.
So
Tube
he goes,
socks?
huh?
He wears tube socks?
No, he just has the like the long blonde hair.
Oh,
and
so
for a
is
while-
Pete.
Yeah.
No, somebody's bald.
So we were talking, and he goes, "Hey man, by the way, tell your brother I play his dad on TV." And I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, I play his dad on TV." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'm the dude John Teller on Sons of Anarchy."
Oh, nice.
No shit.
Yeah, and I'm like,
That's
are you
fucking
fucking
badass.
serious?
Yeah.
And I mean, think about that. Like, he didn't have a huge role as far as like acting in the show, but he was a big part
Yeah.
of the face of the show,
That's
right?
cool, man.
And then, I was like, no shit, right? And he's like, yeah. And he goes, and he told me the whole story how he got on. I was like, that's fucking fascinating.
Yeah.
It's a really good story that I'm saving because we're gonna actually do a podcast together about it, but. I was stoked that this dude sent me his bike,
Hell
asked
yeah.
me how much, did not say, and not that he's rich or anything,
Yeah.
but he just respected me as a biker
Yeah.
and likes the shit and wanted it, paid me up front,
Yeah.
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 And told me who he was after we had already talked
Yeah.
about money.
Those are
Yeah.
called good customers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a solid dude, man. And it was super weird because like my wife's dad also rides. He's kind of older. He rides like a 07 or 08 CVO or some shit like
Yeah.
that. And my wife is from LA, right?
Okay.
So her dad still lives there. So we're there all the time.
Yeah.
So this dude lives in Ventura. And so we were there for something, and we were all at my wife's.
Bartender ever.
Huh?
He's like the best bartender.
He is. You're a
ever,
good time.
man.
You're a good dude.
He's gonna be
Behind the bar.
shit-faced.
Shit-faced.
Like,
That's
I'll
it's,
be-
I got
like actually, his blood's getting warm probably right now.
I'm thinking about the Uber ride home.
We're gonna be
man.
doing
I'm leaving my
donuts.
car here.
We're gonna be doing donuts
We're going out.
in the Regal in a minute, dude.
Regal. But yeah, man, it was just crazy. Like, I never met really celebrities like that. But then with Steve, we were talking about Steve earlier from I rode with
BX.
him and Yellow Wolf halfway
Yeah.
across the country last year, or at least across Texas, which
Yeah.
is kind of the country.
Yeah.
But that was the first time I was with like a celebrity,
Yeah.
and he was cool, but kind of weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear odd things about him.
We saw him. We stumbled upon him playing in Sturgis, and there was like 6 people there standing in a field.
Yeah.
It was so crazy.
Hey, we jumped the fence with Kyle.
We jumped, with Kyle, and we're already drunk.
He was
walking, and we
killing.
just happened to walk
Jump.
up to a couple people sitting on a bleacher watching Yellow Wolf, and it was like the coolest thing.
It's like
ever.
a private show.
No,
Dude, it was in the middle of a field.
he was pretty talented. Always like playing Led Zeppelin and stuff.
It was
for real?
super cool.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was fucking
It was like
awesome, man.
if he was sitting here with us, just hanging out.
There literally was
pretty
like
badass.
15 people.
Yeah, so it was my experience hanging out with him. It was dope. Like he was cool, but like also you gotta understand like he's famous. So
Yeah.
I'm looking at him with
Yeah.
almost like TMZ would probably look at
Yeah.
him like,
Yeah.
show me something I don't want to see, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
what it
yeah,
felt
yeah.
like. You know.
Yeah.
But who else? Oh, so like I did a podcast a couple weeks ago with this dude Les, who is a rapper from Houston that's actually so he just did a whole album with like Bun B. He got brought in by Slim Thug and all this shit, and just the dude's fucking
Yeah.
normal and chill, and he's telling me how the music business works nowadays, and it's just like if you were in Houston, which like here, like Chicago, like some of my favorite rap growing up is from Chicago, like
Yeah.
Do or Die,
Yeah,
Twista, and
fucking
all those dudes.
Do or Die, they all have bikes.
Conflict,
Huh?
fucking-
They all have bikes.
They do?
Yeah, all crotch rockets.
Chris painted sort of wheels for his Bentley.
Yeah.
A Twisted?
Yeah.
I known him my whole life, pretty much.
For real?
Yeah, it's a whole nother story.
Dude,
He's
I
always
was.
at the strip club by the house. Man.
Yeah, he's an animal.
He is.
I went to the strip club with Dwayne Wade. I used to sell them all their cars. When I sold cars, I used to sell.
For real?
Yeah.
Yeah, do or
See,
die.
Dwayne Wade's from here, right?
Like
He's from
20
Robbins. He's
minutes
like right
away,
here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit, man. Chicago, fucking Jordan from here, dude. What was that like being here in the '90s?
The shit.
Did y'all watch
I
that
never
fucking
was into-
documentary?
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's good because if you
Like
grew up
back
here,
in high school.
if you grew up here, you like really like relate.
Remember
like,
the
yeah,
times,
like
you know what I mean?
It made it really
yeah.
cool.
When they won the championships and even the T-shirts like they would wear, like they had the bobbleheads.
Yeah.
And, like you start,
God, I was probably
I'm all in the sneakers.
12
So
years old, like when
oh, dude,
all that shit. was
Yeah,
happening.
I mean
they were the king of the
that was
world.
a big ordeal, man. Like
that documentary was like brought me back to my childhood, but from like watching the NBA through like TV, like on the shows and like little fucking Sports Center and shit back in the day, and it was dope. But man, like, goddamn, was he famous?
yeah.
Oh, dude, and he's the nicest guy in the world. Actually,
I heard
he's
he's horrible.
R. Kelly.
No, he's
R.
actually,
Kelly's here
R.
too.
Kelly is from here too.
Yeah,
You want to get
probably-
pissed down real quick?
I probably got at least one kid from an R. Kelly song for
I
sure.
think we all do, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, actually,
There's good music
People
from
say
here.
stuff about
Oh,
him. He's
yeah,
actually
I
a
like
super
R.
nice
Kelly,
guy.
dude.
I used to go to bar all the time. He was
R.
always
Kelly's
super
around
nice
all the
guy.
gyms around here and shit. People used to
Oh, R.
run
Kelly,
into
we used to
him.
we sit at the hot tub and drink beers all night, and R. Kelly played basketball.
Golden shower truck got
Yeah.
one time from him.
No, in New Orleans. He was always there.
Trying to get
He
Pete
pulled up
on,
in a
bro.
bus with all his guys to play basketball.
Yeah.
And me and Tommy would drink beers.
nice. That's like that. I mean, Dallas. We never had like a scene like that where we had like celebrities from music and things like that. Where like Houston, had the whole like their music scene blew up, and then they always had like like Scarface and fucking UGK and those guys growing up. So they had always had like this culture. We never had that in Dallas, so we never really saw people. You know what I mean? And we ended up finally winning a championship in the basketball. We had football players, but other than that, man, like here it felt like fuck. You had this amazing,
we've had it all. With sports,
Kanye's
right?
from here. Not that
Yeah, Kanye's really not from here. But
not.
nah, not at all.
But just all that shit, man. Growing up, it was like Chicago always had that vibe, man. Is Devin the dude from up here?
Who?
He was a part of like that whole do or die.
Oh, do or die guys. They're all from the west side though.
Oh,
Whatever
for
it
real?
is. Yeah, that's a different world. I'll drive you there tonight. We'll go over there. See the whole city.
Dude, the only time I was in the west side picking up a bike. Remember this? We were picking up a bike in our trailer. This is like when we were working out of a garage.
Yeah.
And dude, there's just like gunshots going on, and all these kids on the playground.
So the
like,
west side's
staring-
fucked up too.
The west
Certain-
side's
The west side's
man.
the side
Rough,
you don't want to
man.
be at.
Yeah.
So
That's-
we were at a spot where
Is it like a moat of fuckery around the downtown or?
I don't know.
Yeah, kind of.
West side are some hard motherfuckers though.
Oh, yeah.
It's a-
We were in the spot
Yeah.
where two white people just don't fit in. Like
Yeah.
everyone was just staring at it. And I grew up out south. He grew up in the city and all this shit. So for me, man, I was just like, dude,
I heard-
this ain't good, man. Everyone's staring at us. The minute the dudes walked up to meet us, no one would look at us.
Oh,
Because they were like,
All right,
the dude. But there's
you
like
gotta
gunshots
pass.
going on. I'm like, I can't wait to get the fuck
But
out
I
of
was-
here.
He's like, what's going on? I'm like, just shooting. You're fine, man. Just sit there. Shut the fuck up, man.
I mean, no one bothered.
I heard Gary was like a hard ass place too.
Gary's weird though.
Yeah,
Gary's
because
like-
you know what's
Gary's
weird
rough.
about Gary? You're right next to the beaches, and you can go through the hood, and the minute you get on the beach,
Beautiful.
it's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
For real.
Like you get gas for a wave runner or something, and you're like, yeah, let's hurry up here.
But
and then you get right in the beach, and it's like, leave all your shit out.
Yeah.
Like,
Gary, you got 5 houses that are trashed, and then one house that someone's living in, and the rest are just
And then a guy on the beach with a tiger.
yeah.
Seriously.
this famous tattoo dude. Yeah, I
Roy
remember,
boy.
we were from two different areas, and we used to all both.
So
went
you go-
to the
you
beach
go out
on the
there and
same-
you
all
can-
remember this dude.
You can go drink on the beach and bring all your jet skis and I'll do whatever you want. And this dude was out there, like tattooed from head to toe. Him and his wife. His wife
Fat
was
as
like,
shit. Slob.
this dude had gold chains on, looked like Mr. T, and a fucking tiger.
Like just chilling.
No, it had a tiger. And
Nice.
it's just throwing water on him.
Dude, I'm
Fucking
telling you,
tiger.
the tiger was sitting on
Right,
the
boy.
jet ski in
Yeah.
the water. I was like 12.
We hit the
dude.
original
He was
Tiger
like
King
5 years
out
older
here.
than me, so they had jet skis in. I was there with like my parents, and I'm from like Manhattan, this little town, and there's this like 400-pound fully tattooed slob with like gas powered margarita mixers on like on a fake green grass blanket, like the size of the beach, with a tiger. And I'm like, what the fuck, Dad? Like, what is going on here, dude? Like. And I don't even want to look at him because I don't want him to see me looking at him. But I can't stop looking at him. Get a boat out there
with a tiger painted on the side of it.
Dude.
Wow.
No, for real. I mean, this is real. Google that motherfucker.
What's
Roy
his
Boy.
name again?
Roy Boy?
Yeah,
Google
Roy
him.
Boy.
He's super.
He was the original Tiger King.
He looked like Mr. T, but white.
I feel like in the 80s, though, like it was a mad flex to have like a monkey or a tiger.
No, this dude had a tiger in the back of a Dodge Ram with a cage. A fucking tiger.
The tiger was sitting on the wave runner seat.
Was it like a chill ass tiger so he could walk it and stuff? Or
No.
Yes, it wasn't biting anyone.
It was in a cage.
No, it was on a wave runner one time when I was there. No, like the water's this deep where the wave runner's sitting on the beach.
Okay.
And the tiger was on a fucking wave runner, dude. I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Tigers do
I got
swim,
cats.
though.
My parents got cats.
Really?
This is a fucking tiger, dude.
Yeah, tigers are known to swim.
I told you. I'm telling you, I saw him on the fucking wave runner, man. I swear on my life, dude. There's some things you don't forget, dude.
Yeah, you definitely don't figure fucking tiger.
If you ever see a tiger on wave runner, you're never gonna forget that day. I promise you. It's fucking hot, man.
Dude, that's a way cooler fucking Joe Exotic. So what was his name?
Roy Boy.
Roy Boy.
Yeah,
He had a block.
sing goofy
He had a block
songs
in
and
Gary,
shit
Indiana,
like that.
a tattoo shop. It was 1 block long. It was
on
huge.
Broadway.
Yeah,
It's still there.
He
but
wasn't gay.
It like burned down.
That
he
mullet
died
is
from AIDS.
fucking
Didn't
fire.
he really?
Though.
Yeah.
I
He
think
died
that's
from
a
AIDS.
rumor. I think it's a rumor.
He did.
Really?
Yeah. It was a couple years ago I thought he passed away.
Dude, he has a sick ass mullet though.
And he had a tiger and wasn't gay.
And gold chains like a motherfucker. I mean, he looked like Mr. T.
Dude, he's scary.
I feel like he's got like a straight edge front.
There's a lot of shit going on. Dude.
Yeah, dude. He's got some swag
Should
on
paint
him.
him on a helmet. Actually, I would buy that helmet.
Dude, you'd be the king around.
Look at him, dude.
Let me see. This is like I was 12. See, I thought he was fat as fuck. When I saw him,
No,
he was
his
fat
wife
as
was.
fuck. Someone was fat with just tattoos everywhere. And
Dolores
like,
loved
I think
him.
my parents were covering my eyes.
I think
and
Dolores
shit,
loved
dude.
him.
That's my mom, man. Dude.
Man, that's great.
Ask Rita.
It's fucking weird, like being like. No, I mean, like I get it, man. It's like growing up in these cities and this wild shit goes on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's crazy when you guys talk like about some like rappers or basketball players, like seeing these motherfuckers just normal as fuck. It's like that's what happens when you grow up in a city.
Yeah, they used to go to clubs all. They saw all. God, you've probably seen.
Yeah, those guys. So MJ was always out though. Nice guy though.
Remember he got
stuff
into
they say
bikes?
about him. Yeah. So
Yeah,
actually, that was
team, right?
all of us. So a friend of ours met him at BP. Amico.
Yeah,
50s McDonald's.
there's a rock and roll McDonald's in gas
And he was
station
he was
downtown that
he was on a
everyone
sport
just went
bike
to.
with a whole jumpsuit on
Yeah.
and a helmet.
Yeah.
And he met all those dudes, and the dude's like, "Man, are you out of your fucking mind? You're gonna kill yourself." And they all hooked him up, and he got all suited up right, and he sponsored that Jumpman team.
Yeah.
That's all it went.
So I remember when that happened because I remember reading an article. I don't know where it was, but it was about basically he enjoyed riding bikes because it was like a way for him to get out and do things and not be recognized.
Those guys treated him like he's
Just a
one of
normal
them.
dude?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I would be weirded out. Like
Yeah, the guy's name was
changed my
Tiger.
life.
Yeah.
The guy was name was Tiger that hooked them all up, and he was fast as fuck. The kid was fast, man. He's fast. And
Yeah.
like, yeah, he's Boyer and all those
There was
guys.
a dude.
Yeah.
There's a dude that was living in Dallas. We were gonna do a podcast with him last year, and we just lost touch. That was rode on his team.
Oh, and Jumpman team.
Yeah, on the Jumpman team. And I was Ben Spies, I think is what his name
God,
was.
I know that name.
He was
There's a famous. I mean, he's a GP.
yeah, he was GP. He made it all the way up.
Bad
Yeah.
dude.
So we were gonna do a podcast. Apparently, he's retired. You know, he's like fucking 30.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm 40, whatever, and that was like I was probably 18 when that was
a
all
long
going down.
time ago,
That was,
dude.
I mean, it was a different world though.
Real long time ago. Like long time ago.
Shut the fuck up, man.
You get that? I'm the oldest dude in my fucking friends group too. So
Yeah, I'm the old guy, man.
I get it. But it's like I'm the one making shit happen for everybody. So fuck off.
The whole crotch rocker world was way different though.
It was fun for
Yeah,
a
it
long
was so
time.
much
It was
fun,
awesome, man.
It was
It
so
was-
much fun.
But it was like what was fun about it, like we were talking about earlier. It was fun, but it just wasn't sustainable for like a life.
So who it wasn't fun for, because there was always, you found 2 chicks, okay, and one had a fat friend.
Yeah.
And you're like, you always had that one buddy. You're like, dude, you
the
gotta
fat
take the
one?
fat one on the bike, dude.
That was you, Pete. You
No,
always
not
did
me,
that,
man. I
yeah.
remember I stuck that fat chick on Robin's bike, dude. He was so pissed off.
I had one of my friends I grew up with. He ended up getting on sport bikes, and there's this time I was trying to mess with this one chick, and she had a friend. Her friend was actually pretty hot too, right? And I was trying to get my buddy to come out, and he was like, he's a dude that like you have to give him a lot of encouragement.
Yeah.
So I'm like, come on, man. Like, she needs just a bike to be on. Just come ride with me. We're going to go to Chili's or some shit like that. And then he's like, I don't know, man. I was like, dude, my homegirl said she does anal. So he's like, all right, cool, I'm coming. So we all went to Chili's and then came back to this chick's apartment to go, like, swimming and shit. And we're all in the pool, chilling, having a good night, just shooting the shit, being normal. Like, we're trying to fucking put the Mac down, but not, like, that obvious.
Yeah.
And imagine, like, there's, like, that quiet moment where everything gets quiet. And my friend goes, so I heard you do anal.
She's like, what?
I looked at him and was like, what the fuck, dude? And it was just like this awkward, nobody got anal that night. No. It fucked everything up.
It ruined it all.
And it was just kind of like, yo, dude, like.
That's probably what I would do.
It was weird.
He's the guy that pulled his dick on anyone. There's 100 girls. If one works, maybe. Now he's a pussy.
Now he's a pussy.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man.
Growing up in this stuff, man, like there's bike stories for days and so much shit, man. It's fucking wild. But
my one buddy, every time he did a stand up, he crashed. Like every fucking time he'd be in front of you, ruined the whole fucking day, dude. Because now he's crashed and this and that. Jason, every time, dude, never rode the back brake. He'd do a stand up, loop out,
circle back,
ruin the whole day. Every time.
You just tell him at some points, hey, if you need to quit, you're fucking all the days up.
It'd always be, because I'd be behind him doing a stand up and the oil would go everywhere and he'd have to fucking, every fucking time. Dude.
Yeah, it was good times, man.
Those were good times on chat bikes, dude.
So y'all, like, looking forward, like, to anything next year? Do you want to do anything, or y'all trying to?
I want to do everything, but it's hard to do anything.
Yeah.
The older you get, and then kids, and then everything is getting harder.
There's a lot of, it's like the World of Wheels show and all that stuff still
we
going
do all
on?
that stuff,
Yeah, we have to do. We do World of Wheels every year. It's like
we're
our
a good friend of
hometown.
ours that.
If we don't go there, then it's like we're out of business.
Yeah, no.
I mean, really, then all the other shops that are in your area are there. So.
Yeah, I mean, y'all, like I said earlier, I got a bunch of shops kind of tucked in this little southern part, it seems like.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
How many painters are out here? You got Poland,
Poland's out here too.
Poland's so far.
He's farther south.
Poland's not really a paint. Like he don't
he
want to
doesn't
paint,
really do
but you could bet he ain't painting.
I know why.
Yeah.
I get
I
it.
mean, you got Paul.
Blackman's here. He's
Paul.
around the corner. I mean,
He paints most of our bikes. Yeah,
And they got a full blown body
They
shop.
have a
So
full-blown
like body
shop.
work can get like
They do nice work.
I mean, they got the 30-something people there. It's a full-blown shop.
So you got.
And you got
Gator.
Oh, Gator Customs. They used to do that Gator glass.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's them. Yeah, they're right here, right down the block.
Wow, that's crazy.
They're
Sport
probably
bike
our
days.
first painter.
Yeah,
Sport
They're
bike
probably
days,
our
man.
first painter. And we used to
They
have
were one
Gator
of the
glass.
first
we used to
dudes that had a
Gator glass
legit
on-
website back in the early
Yeah.
days.
Oh no, they were killing it. They had that.
We had
they
Gator
did that
glass on, like,
LRG
all-
bike,
yeah,
like
all
the
the
clear
time.
wheels. Doug
Yeah.
made the wheels for that thing. That white and teal.
The white bike, the lid was halfway clear with a spare with the loud lids from Allen back
They had
in the day.
they had a sport bike. I think it was a booster back in the day where they had this clear the Gator glass on it, but they had a baseball like a
That was
signed.
Ken Griffey's bike.
It was Ken Griffey's
Yeah.
bike. Okay,
Ken Griffey Jr.
that was
yeah.
wild. I was like, God damn!
Oh,
Like,
they were killing. They did.
Yeah,
they used to have
that
McCoy
red bike right
Motorsports.
there on that whole 41 on the tank on that road glide for the blow off bike
yeah,
all
yeah.
lit up.
Yeah,
41
they did that.
from them.
McCoy, remember McCoy Motorsports?
yeah,
They had badass.
McCoy
bikes.
used to kill.
What was that LG bike? That white
McCoy
one
had
with
the
large-
they had those R1s
large.
back in the day. They used to build sick ass.
They painted that
R1s.
one was like split in the middle. It's like two different paint jobs.
Yep.
It was
that movie bike.
The movie bike. Was
That
bad
was
as
what it
fuck.
was,
The
yeah.
R1, that green one. That was Randy's
That was
bike.
2-wheel tuner, super street
Yeah.
bike days.
Oh, they're right down the street. It's all still hanging
Wow,
inside.
that's crazy.
That was our first painter, probably.
Yeah, we battled.
They
a lot.
kind of. I mean, I don't want to say they fell off. But
No,
they fell
they're
off the
huge.
radar for
No,
like.
they're super busy. I mean, they just want money. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and him are.
Yeah, man, they'll have 6 pairs of door handles they're doing from someone shipped
Yeah.
to them on a car with the Chevy sign. You know, like
Yeah.
They're actually probably smarter than most guys because they just want their money, go their way. They don't care about it.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, there was a lot of painters in this. When I got in the sport bike days.
They're doing a flow shoot with Chapo right now.
Nice. That's a flat ass.
Yeah, it's not that.
Jesus Christ.
See a lot of that G-string.
Oh, that's not even Chapo.
Way too much G-string.
That's Ricky's bike.
No, that's a.
Yeah, they do some cool stuff. I mean, but it's just strictly business.
So who else you got? You got you, Gator, Calamine. No, I'm missing someone around here, isn't there?
There's not that does artwork and everything else.
Like the full thing, yeah.
Yeah, there's not too
I
many.
guess that's probably Joe.
But Joe, yeah, I mean, he don't care about nothing though.
Yeah, that's your painter.
JP.
That's a good market. Then.
So we flood them. Like,
yeah, it's a good market.
Yeah.
That's good.
Until they want to like argue with me.
Yeah.
What do you on your side? What do you deal with painters like that's like you don't like to deal with?
Don't like to deal
Well,
with.
I make the customers go and deal with the painter.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
like
that's kind of why I started the wall.
I don't want nothing to do if
Okay.
there's something they don't like.
Yeah,
I don't want to be in
there's
the
a
middle.
couple different
Yeah,
painters
my
on each
plan
wall.
is
and-
like I show people a paint and they could deal with the painter themselves. I recommend some painters, and that's it. You know, I mean, Kyle's
We
probably
bring it
the
all
easiest
there.
painter to deal with, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's expensive, but timeline's perfect, paint's
Yeah.
perfect.
well, he's
No
scared.
bullshit.
I know Kyle. Kyle knows me. We've only briefly talked like Sturgis and SEMA and stuff like that, but I know his practices, and I know that the organization of scheduling
Yes.
allows you to stay true to your word of doing things. You know what I'm saying? So when it
Yeah.
comes to bikes, I go his method where I'm like,
you guys are all special people, man.
yeah,
They're difficult, man. Difficult people to deal with. You know, I've had my run-ins with all of them.
You're hard to deal with, too.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like it's pretty simple on our end. It's like, as long as we all say no when we're supposed to say no, and yes when we feel confident.
The
I think that's a hard thing to
promising
do.
stuff
Yeah.
faster than things that you know in your head
Yeah.
are gonna that you know.
So if you
are
know
not going to be done by then.
Yeah, if you know
it
this
just
isn't
makes
gonna work,
everything worse. Just
if you
say
know
it's going
this-
to take 4 months.
Yeah, if you know you can't get it done in time, but you know you need the money, then you know, like you might say, okay, I'll try, but then, you know, like I was telling Kyle this last night. We were talking. I don't think it was on the podcast. We were just talking. I was like, man, for so long in my life, I've put my family, I've kicked them to the curb
Yeah.
to make
I
with
get it.
shops, to make deadlines, to make things that I shouldn't have took in, that I promised, and then I would totally be for the shop 100%, but then renege on something with the family. You know what I mean? And now it's like I don't
And
want
then
to do
that starts,
anymore.
but then your personal life starts getting all screwed
But
up.
your kids like shoes and like.
Yeah, they do like
I
that
mean,
shit.
there's stuff that, I mean, unfortunately in life, I mean, it gets busy. I mean, my girl's like super cool with that shit. She understands like, we need money, we have bills.
Yeah.
So sometimes like, I ain't coming home.
Yeah.
I got to do what I got to do, you know? But that's a really tough, you know, thing to manage. You got kids, wife, mortgages, bills. I mean,
There's like karma things that happens to painters though. Think about it. Like,
well, painters
we
are
could-
special people, man.
we could be doing everything perfect, and then lo and behold, we get a bad batch of clear or this or that, and
Yeah.
something happens and it's a nightmare. And now we have to find a way to explain to you guys why we were on schedule and everything was working good, and this fucked us.
But usually you guys are lying, and it didn't
That's
really
the problem.
happen.
Is it like sometimes it feels like we're lying, but there is.
I think with painters, you know, it's a difficult thing for them to just. You want everyone to be happy. How
True.
about that? Is that
Yeah.
be the best? Because no matter what, you want every fucking person to be happy, and you can't do it. It just doesn't work out.
I think
time-wise.
painting is a hard job. That
Oh yeah, I wouldn't want to do that.
It's
Knowing God's
hard.
green earth, I want to do any body work or paint.
Yeah.
But
Not to mention, if someone's not happy with something, that's gotta feel like fucking
oh,
shit.
It's always the stuff.
I
that
know
you-
if I deliver a
that
bike and
you
they're
love
not
to
like
death.
they're not like excited, it sucks.
Yeah, it usually is the stuff you love to death. And it, like, I tell people all the time, it's like, I really have a hard time. It's like, so like when I paint my own bike or my own shit and people love it. I love what you did on your shit. And I'm like, all right, well, what I did to get to that point where I was ready to do that paint job was what I also did for you for your paint job. But I already had to convince myself on this paint job before I gave it to you.
Yeah.
And now there's this extra layer of, I got to convince you now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, I wouldn't want to do this if it wasn't dope. So, you know what I mean? Like I get to that point a lot where it's like I don't want to spend half my energy today trying to convince you to let me do this. Just let me fucking do it.
Yeah.
You know, and then, you know, back in the day it was like, oh, here's a progress picture. Is it going to be glossy?
Yeah.
You know, that bullshit. But
this guy wants 900 pictures while you're in the middle of painting stuff. You get no element of surprise when you get to deliver it. And
well, I sketch everything. You know, I sketch everything.
I don't sketch nothing with the stuff, so
I do that for what you're talking about because I want him, the customer, to know where the direction is. Like if they're markers or crayons for I'm not giving
what
you.
What if you keep doing it and they want to keep changing?
But here's the problem, though. I mean, like, I see stuff in my head, and then me and Paul we have this problem, and we don't see it the same. But in my head, it like works perfect.
Yeah.
But I'm not a painter, and I can't relate exactly what I want to the painter.
Yeah.
And then the paint comes out, and you're like, you know, and I'm the worst guy ever.
Yeah.
Because I'm never happy with anything.
Well, so like and I'm sure you can do this, but as you get older, you learn how to have these conversations and figure and pull those kind of things out. It's when
maybe you as an adult, not me.
We did the white bike, and they're just like, well, make it like the other one, kind of. And do this and a little bit of this. I'm like, great. You know,
I mean,
my favorite part is like when you drop it off, but you want to see the people's reaction, but at the same time you're scared to death because you're like, God, I hope they
I don't like
this thing. You know?
I don't like that feeling.
You know,
am I gonna pay my rent tonight?
No, every time I get a paint job,
I'm pretty easy with Jason. I
Yeah,
can't tell him a couple things, and I know I like his style, so I know it's good.
I'm never happy. The bike's got to get together, and then like a few days later,
yeah. See, I would want like this. I would want a relationship like this where there's like a mutual respect where I fuck shit, man. I'm fucking here to do stuff, and I know you do good shit, so we're both on the same level of professionalism.
Yeah.
So when you start getting weird, I'm like, hey, faggot, you know what I mean? Like, calm the fuck down. This is gonna be okay.
Yeah.
I like having that relationship with people a lot, and I do that. I mean, I don't call them faggot, but
no, but that's where I come in. It's like I'm so difficult on all of them. I'm the worst to deal with. You know what I mean?
900 times.
He paints a bike for me, Paul, and no matter who it is, I'm not confident in any of them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I have this attitude I'm better than them.
And then me, like, you never hear a word from me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I couldn't even tell you the paint job where I've been miserable. Every paint job, in my head they work out different.
I think you're
a
lot like,
and I'm like, I'm always confident.
He's got to start seeing. I almost sometimes I think you shouldn't see the pictures in between.
Well, yeah. Well,
but I'm like,
because when you don't see it all together, you might not like it. But when you see it all together, it looks completely different.
I'm way out there. He won't pop
I'm really bad. I mean, I'm really hard on some of these guys. Sometimes I feel bad for them. I mean, like for Paul, for instance, I don't need the guy has all the talent in the world. I don't need to come by there. Yeah. But I'm fucking crazy.
Gotta get he's right around the corner.
I'm fucking crazy.
Yeah, you just got to get to a point where you have confidence and you know, you have confidence in the painters, which I know Jason, I don't know Paul, but his work is awesome. So you just got to get to a point where you're like, to me, it's like this. Like, I can't speak for these guys, but I think that this is the way it is. I don't want to do anything I'm not proud of. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
You know, so I feel like if we're all on that same page, they're like, look, man, I wouldn't even show you this if I didn't feel like it was going in the right direction. I would stop and go a different direction, you know?
And they always ask for pics when it's like mid thing and you're like, I can't show it to you like this, man. Like,
I think that's the biggest thing is dealing with someone as a painter that's passionate about it. Like, they want a badass product at the end. It's, they're not about the money.
You know how hard it is? You know how hard it is when you have a color scheme like, say, this right here? Let's just say this bike, and you got this red, this white, this like kind of off-white grays, whatever. And then you come in and go, hey, man, I really think a yellow pinstripe will pop this. And now I have to convince you, even though I know it will, but you're not seeing it the way I see it. And if you just let me do it.
Like the red and that orange bike.
No, it's hard. No, I mean,
and orange.
And I'm not saying this one needed it. I'm just using it as an example. Like, it's like sometimes there's that color that you're scared to bring up to a customer. Dude, I like purple on everything. You know how hard it is? Some dudes are real homophobic. You would think I was because I say gay and shit all the time, but no, some dudes are like, no, I don't want to fucking purple on my bike.
I mean, you guys are better than us. I mean, Paul did his road glide. We put green in, and he was kind of like, just let him do what he does.
Then when I got it,
and it was killer.
Yeah.
But I mean, you guys, that's what you do. It's hard to put faith in But that's what
Chuck's
you do.
bike, you just throw red in there now.
Red, I'm good.
He loves.
Anything red, I'm good.
Yeah, as long as you put red in his bike, he's
I'm
good.
good.
He's
Yeah,
killer.
I'm good, yeah.
You're good.
It's tough though, man.
Yeah.
It's
The
tough
white
to
one
trust
I
the
probably
person.
was the most nervous with was that white one.
Yeah.
I
God,
must
I'm the
have.
most laid back fucking.
Yeah, but I probably asked Pete after I delivered it 3 or 4 times. I'm like, "You really like this thing?" He's
Yeah.
I love that's what
Yeah.
that paint job was exactly what I wanted. But I also showed him a couple styles and said run with it,
Yeah.
and we never talked about it.
Yeah, yeah.
And he brought it
I
here.
think you're so busy that you don't have time to get super wrapped up.
He's
in
not
it.
the one. It's him.
I
he's
just
not
don't.
him.
I don't know. If there's certain
500
things, if I like
500
someone's style a lot, and
Yeah.
that's the style I want.
Yeah.
I kind of just know.
Let it go with it.
Here's
yeah.
like some of the colors I want. Do your thing. I'm probably
Doing
gonna,
the numbers on his carbon bike.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, dude, I'm going out of town. I gotta go pick this stuff up. I'm like, my grandma passed away. I'll be at the funeral, and then I still got 3 or 4 texts from him. How's the bag? How's the bag? I'm like, as soon as I get there, I'll
I'll
finish it.
That's like, fuck off, nerd. I like being, like, once I felt like, see, when I was younger and I was dealing with shops, I felt insecure in my relationship with all the shops. So I always felt like not confident in myself to do the work. And then once I got to a point where I felt like I had a mutual respect from that shop to me, then I would talk to them like we're friends, because we are friends.
Yeah.
And my best interest is making this badass just like I
Right,
know you want it
right.
to. And that's when when a friend of mine, like my buddy Midwest Grinder, he's one of my biggest customers, and I talk shit to him like he's my little brother sometimes.
Right.
But he's my boy, and he knows that we're fucking doing great shit together. Just like that. You know what I mean?
These two, though.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's like because honestly, I've learned if I walk into a shop super kind of timid and not confident, that might give them the impression that they can get better deals. You know what I mean? And some,
Right.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because I'm not sure of myself, and you can easily spin that. And I know that not everybody's there. I've been doing this shit for a long time, and there's a lot of crooked motherfuckers out there. Tons. I've had dudes, shops that we've actually mentioned on here, where they would literally tell me, the Instagram was so great for me in so many ways, and this is one of them. They would hit me up and say, "Hey, I got a paint job for you. Our budget's $3,500, and this is what we want to do." But then when Instagram started, they tell the customer, "Oh, we have the Fast Stock Garage painting for you." So they would follow me and then message me and be like, "Oh man, I'm so excited! You do great work, man. I've never spent this kind of money on a paint job before, but man, I'm real confident." I'm like,
Oh.
"How much?
$3,500?
How much?" "Oh man, $9,000. I'm like,
Holy shit.
Jesus Christ.
so this shop tells me they have $3,500 as a budget for this bike,
Yeah.
and they're charging the customer $9,000 for it, and they're charging them the labor to put it on, all this blah blah blah.
That's crazy.
And these motherfuckers are even charging them for fitment.
Yeah.
And then I was sitting here fitting it at their shop.
Yeah, that's stuff we don't do though. I mean,
Yeah.
Hey,
I've
we
always
don't make a
charged
dollar on
off a
paint.
paint job, but I've always
Like
if I
you can
scratch a
go
bike,
pay the
you'll fix
painter
it.
on the bill, and that's
That's-
fine. If you want to hand the painter the money, nothing would change. Like there's no markup on
See,
paint.
I said this.
Because I'd rather have you get a better paint job because it makes our bike look better. So I'd rather have all the money go to paint.
See, I think that, and some painters might not agree with me, but I think that when you're a shop that, like, I can't do, you know what, when Covington hit me up to do, I was like, I would have sucked a dude's dick to have this opportunity 2 years ago, but now with things the way it are, it's like, it's hard to do it, right? I wouldn't suck a dude's dick, but,
I mean, you said
It happens.
You said it live.
I'd blow on
$20,
it.
$20
I'd blow on it a little bit. But,
It happens.
But I forgot I was going. I started thinking about sucking dude's dick.
Got
excited.
Got all gagged up there.
Got all gagged up. Man, but no, it's just one of those things, man. Like I don't know. Fuck, man. It's
And his Covington's bikes are base coated.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You just
They
do an
base
hour.
coat
He has a
them.
body shop,
They
though,
base
right?
coat them in house.
Yeah, they got a good shop. They actually got the guy that works there that does all the basing and body work and all that stuff is an old school chopper builder from kind of like the Ohio area, and he built a couple choppers in the Easy Rider show days, and and ended up finding himself at the working at Covington's.
So when you go out there, you stay at their house and stuff.
Dude, I'm staying at Jerry's house with him and his wife,
They're-
sitting
they're
there.
class act.
They are good. They're the best people in the industry.
Dude, if they weren't in the middle of nowhere, I'd totally just go work for them because they're solid people.
Class act, man.
Yeah, I being there and listening to Jerry tell me stories about fucking, the old days.
He's a good storyteller.
His wife is good too, man.
It's awesome, man.
You know what's great? How good they get along together. Mm-hmm. That's a hard. Jerry's wife and Jerry, they can travel. They
spend so much time together.
And I've never seen them even snap at each other.
I actually really enjoyed the podcast with them, listening to some of the history, because I've had many conversations with Mr. Covington, just motorcycle bullshit. And it's every time he talks, I just sit and listen, and I really enjoy it.
So imagine, man, every day. So I would stay at their house, and every night they would take me to dinner, right? And we'd sit down, and maybe the conversation would start on politics. And then next thing you know, he's telling me this fucking crazy story about Sturgis 99 and so was trying to be a hamster and he got mad because he didn't get in. And these are people in the industry that he knows everything.
Oh, he knows
everything, and
we were in Mitchell, South Dakota on the hot bike tour, 9/11, September 11th.
Yeah.
And Joe Hensley pulled up in that American bike.
Yeah.
And
Everybody
he was giggling. He told me a whole story about he built it was biker build-off bike, incredible bike, and the guy pulled him an American flag, Yamaha, whatever, and beat him in a bike show. And he started laughing. He's always winning. He's just giggling. It was pretty funny though.
Well, yeah, everybody was talking about that when he did that, because that's when Joey was talking all that mad shit to Shope.
Well, dude, so Shope's, the TV star Shope. He's bringing people over to the bikes, their kids, their families. He works it. He works it. He was working it, man.
But see, everybody was not tripping, but joking about Hensley doing that, because anytime you're going to a bike show, if you do American flag shit or military shit, they're always going to go for that. You're touching into that,
especially in
that
these
patriotism.
Little ass towns we were going to.
Exactly.
Man, that don't know a goddamn thing about
was
motorcycles.
that the year that Covington did Cha-Ching, the gold bike?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got no love.
So fucking nice.
Everything they do is
nice. Everything's perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And ridden, nothing breaks down.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nothing
you
happens.
got to make it to his hotel room. Relax.
Nothing happens.
Nothing. Zero.
Have you ever been to their shop out there?
No.
It's if you imagine what Boyd Cunnington's shop was like, where there's these compartments or whatever, that's what it's kind of like.
Yeah.
It's really dialed. They're in a small town, so they can afford, or they could probably do it anywhere, but I would imagine it's easier to afford a big complex where you have buildings, multiple ones for different things. And they got a hot rod shop, they got a machine shop, a mechanic shop, assembly shop, paint shop, storefront, fab shop. It's fucking dialed. You know what I mean? And they pump out bikes, man. So it's pretty
but
cool.
everything's money. Everything they do is primo.
Yeah. Dude, they sell every bike in Sturgis, dude.
Everyone, yeah.
It's insane, isn't it?
Insane.
It's absolutely insane.
And all the money.
Lots
of
money. But getting a chance to paint for them was nerve-wracking. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because we can both agree, Loker, the painter, is one of my fucking all-time favorites.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love
kind of who I
paint?
I started basing my style off.
Yeah, he was a big influence on myself and Jason, of course. And it's Loker's always been a fucking pimp when it comes to that stuff. And when you get them going, hey, we like your style and we want to try to branch out and have a little bit of versatility, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, you better knock this shit out.
I don't know if I'm that good, man. You know what I mean? But I did it well. You know how I did it? And I didn't do it on purpose. I just did it because I like bikes. And going to, when we would go to do the judging for the shows, I love his paint jobs. So when Winton's up there getting his bike, judged or whatever, and we're both sitting there going, that fucker's the best. Mm-hmm. And then I caught Winton one time hanging out. I hung out with him in the hot bike tour in Tennessee when they just stayed in Maryville. Went from Maryville.
Little circle, Asheville or whatever it was.
Asheville and all that. And I pulled up on my gold FXR, and me and Winton just hung out all night.
Dude, super nice.
Cool, and then since then, I would do a helmet for him every Sturgis and Daytona. And so, we became cool. I never asked him for any paint jobs. I'm good doing paint jobs.
He's solid too, man.
Yeah.
Super nice guy.
Yeah.
And
that's what the motorcycle industry needs. People like him.
Yeah, but you know what? There's guys like him, but you got to have shops like I would say yourselves in Covington that takes care of them and makes them want to continue to spend money.
Absolutely.
And not fuck them off.
Without guys like that, they're enthusiasts. We have nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's John Blake is like our Wenton to Covington.
Yeah, for
Without
sure.
John, I mean, we need John, and he treats us great, and we treat him great. And
We get to do crazy bikes or
Stuff-
new shit out on not our dime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
That's
he goes
important,
all
yeah.
the way. You know?
It's tough to to build your own bike out on your dime and the time
And to work on it.
the
Because
time you're spending and everything. Yeah.
all these bikes that you build on your own that are supposed to be for the Sturgis or this and that have a shit ton of time in them, dude. You have to shut the shop down. Like,
Dude, there's people right now like that I've seen like taking my bike apart for the V-Twin Visionary tour. I'm like, that's in 2 weeks, dude. Like, you're not building shit. You're fucking just put a sticker on it, dude.
Yeah.
Put some bars on it. But no, it's weird, like, because I know that we can all build a bike really quick if we have to, but dude, that whole bike, whatever the fuck, what did you call that one? With the Poland painted?
oh, the clear wheel bike. Yeah.
Clear wheel bike, yeah. That's not something you're whipping together
That bike
June
took
1st.
a very long time.
almost
dude.
2 years.
How long did it take for the wheel?
It took a long time, and nobody really knew about it, though.
No,
You
I
kind of
kept
kept
it, yeah.
it quiet for.
It was, like I had moved on. I was in the Dynas and shit, and I saw that. I was like, damn, that shit's badass.
It wasn't just the paint tied everything, Poland's paint, but everything these guys did on it, the front end they built, and the
Worked,
stuff
man.
they
The bike
powdered,
worked,
everything
man.
was fucking cool. I remember seeing that in
And we drove it
Voss's.
everywhere.
Yeah, I remember seeing that at Voss's and like,
Dude, I left roll the wheels on that bike, and it was snowing out. And I did a whole shot because that's just what we do. Every bike's got to run. We ain't pushing them through there.
Yeah.
We're starting them up while you're not even supposed to start it yet. And this is what we do. If you can't do if we build a bike and you can't do a whole shot on it through the parking lot, then fuck that thing. I do a whole shot in the snow. And it got a lot of. There's a good video. Well, when I rolled off the gas, the back tire just kind of locked up because it's in snow.
Yeah.
And it was like fucking like. I'm like, oh, you stupid motherfucker, dude. I'm gonna drop this fucking. I could see him running, but it wasn't in the video, and it stayed up. But it was like
Sketchy.
pretty funny.
Yeah.
You're here, everyone's pushing these bikes. Like, don't want to get hit. We're driving a clear wheel bike, fucking through the snow, fucking.
Yeah, that thing was badass, and like I said, man, there's like I said, that's why I'm here, man. That's why, like I said, I've been trying to, shed the positive light on the big wheel world.
Such a martyr.
I am. You should bow to your Lord and Savior. No, but no, dude. Fuck, man. You don't understand like the fuckery out. You guys know the fuckery out there. We were talking about it before.
We know.
Oh, it's a
But
shit show.
It is.
We kind of just stay quiet.
Kind of, right?
I mean,
I do. I'm not
we don't
allowed-
talk
I'm not
shit
allowed-
on there.
no,
Like,
I'm
there's
not
so many
allowed.
times
I'm
I
not
want to
allowed.
talk shit. Believe me, dude.
No.
But the
Very
more
rarely.
then you're there for someone else to talk shit about.
True.
And for doing it this long, there's really, to my knowledge, not that many bad things said about us on Facebook. And there's a lot of. There's every day you go on Facebook, there's someone slamming someone.
Yeah, exactly. So the first thing is just get off Facebook, stick with Instagram. But no,
You
like
don't
that's the
have a
thing.
Facebook.
Yeah, I'm not allowed on Facebook.
I wouldn't, dude. I was talking about it last night on the podcast, man. There was a performance bagger page that was not performance bagger people. It was a bunch of dudes with ape hangers and shit like that. And I went on there and started trolling it because y'all are gay. Y'all are hell yeah brothers, man. Like you're not into this shit. And then I started reaching out to all the people I knew and I said, because everybody was on the page. I didn't know it existed. I saw it, joined it, saw the fuckery going on. I said, and of course the guy that ran the page was kind of a little pussy, if you will.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Usually.
Yeah, it was just a shit show.
kind of goes hand in hand with like pages.
It's like those pages are like these dudes that don't even have the type of bike that they're running a page for.
I don't understand that whole like get famous.
I mean, that
off of-
Chop Baggers page back in the day got us a lot of business.
What was the whole form though?
Wasn't
But
that
there ain't
Usher's
shit
page?
like
Usher,
yeah,
yeah.
there ain't shit like that no more. That's
And then Mark
gone.
Craven took it over. Bill
Well,
Usher's a good dude, man.
because Facebook became a chat room as well, and everybody could start one. I mean, back then to start a website chat room, that's a fucking big deal.
I mean that.
But I think
Chop
it can
Baggers.
I think you could do it again.
I have no
Yeah,
interest. in
that Chop Baggers though did a shitload for us because we were just in the garage.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I literally think that if somebody, because the forums were big, and then Facebook came along, and it was easier to get on because you're already on Facebook. So, but if somebody did it now and actually made an app as well that you could be on it as well, that shit, and it was just this, and dude, it'd be I think it'd be huge. But people just think it's not because they were this and blah blah blah. But
that Chop Baggers at one point was huge. I mean, for us, it's huge.
Oh yeah. Look at all the stereo equipment.
You learn a lot of
her
stuff,
shit.
though.
It was like,
yeah, I don't understand what happened with that though. It just kind of went.
Yeah, well, they said it was Facebook chat rooms.
Crushed them.
Oh, yeah. Sure, you can go on a group page on Facebook.
Yeah, because on Facebook, it was a group page. So like all of a sudden now there's Texas baggers, there's Chicago baggers, there's 30 wheels only.
Oh,
there's like everybody started like chopping it down to like another smaller niche to kind of make the.
Yeah, I don't see none of that. So
yeah, you're not missing anything, dude.
No, I probably not. I just talk shit. It'd be terrible.
Well, shit, guys, we're drunk.
Yeah, it's usually how it goes. We haven't done anything too bad yet, which is.
Yeah,
he's been lecturing me all day.
We stayed PC.
No, I was telling him we have rules.
Yeah,
I wasn't following him. I just didn't have a need to.
Well, yeah, it's early enough that we can stop this now, and I can see a little bit of Chicago in the daylight.
Yeah, you better off.
So we should do that.
Okay.
So tell them where to find you, Jason.
NSD_Paintworks on Instagram.
Yeah. You got a website?
At Pornhubs.com.
Far as fucking Indiana.
And you guys?
Hour and 45-minute drive from Chicago.
I don't know. No, DA
Performance Baggers.
Yeah. Instagram,
I think that's our fucking.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Professional. That's all right, thank you guys.
Thanks, Bob.
Hope you guys enjoyed that. I want to thank you all for checking out this podcast with DA Performance Baggers and Jason from NSD Paintworks. If you guys want to support this podcast, here's the ways to do it. You can go to our Patreon, which helps us bring on more guests and build the quality of this show at patreon.com/fastlifegarage. Also, check out our sponsors, Dream Rides John on Instagram and teamdreamrides.com, Paint Huffer Metal Flake on Instagram and painthuffer.com. Fast Life 20 gets you 10% off at checkout. Thundermax EFI on Instagram, shoptmax.com, and Fast Life for 10% off on their website. Lexan Moto on Instagram and lexan-moto.com. Fast Life gets you 15% off at checkout. Simpson Motorcycle Helmets on Instagram, simpsonmotorcyclehelmets.com, and Electric Lighting Co. on Instagram and namscustomcycleproducts.com. Check out all these sponsors. They are awesome products that I use on my bike and wear on my head every time I ride bikes. So check them out, and thank you for checking this podcast out, and we'll be back later this week with another great podcast. All right, guys. Peace.